Well, good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Andrew. Good morning, Davey. We have a beautiful weather week on the way here. This is just unbelievable.
Good morning.
Mid-80s, mostly sunny skies and all of that. It should be a beauty.
It's a beauty.
So they say.
Tomorrow will be the best day.
Yeah, tomorrow. I mean, today's going to be nice.
Yes, I'm very much looking forward to it.
And it is your final, I guess we would call this the last week of the summer vacation. Because of school and kids going back to school and all that stuff. Otherwise,
my sister Mary's already back at college.
Yeah, the college, those kids are mostly already back. And then obviously schools, elementary and high school going back next week after Labor Day. But I know that a few schools have the teachers going back at least one day this week.
Oh, boy.
So it's back to school. Hard to believe.
To prove to Dad I'm not a fool.
Florida has won the Little League World Series between Florida and Chinese Taipei. Went to extra innings yesterday and ended, believe it or not, with a bunt walk-off winner.
Wow.
Do you want to hear a little audio? I can get you some audio of that coming up. So it was Florida, not the New York team.
That's all right.
But it was the U.S.
It was America.
America.
With
a big win. You're very happy with the Yankees?
I am. Wasn't on whatever was it?
Saturday.
It was Saturday. But this team, I don't know what kind of team you're going to get every day. But if they're the team that showed up yesterday, we're going to play well.
I'm good with the Mets taking 2 of 4 from San Diego. However, they had a 2-0 lead through a good part of that pitcher's duel yesterday. And then a pitcher comes in middle relief and gives up a 2-run homer. And then Diaz with a 1-run walk-off shot in the bottom of the 9th inning. So a tough loss for a competing New York Mets team.
Well,
Davey, he's already laughing. This is why people hate New York Yankees fans. You understand?
Yes, I do.
Okay,
yes, I do.
Just
indeed.
checking. Because now all of a sudden, you start the show with gloating as opposed to groaning and moaning. It's very nice.
Notice, even though I have a newfound disdain for the Mets due to the fact that they did beat the Yankees, that is, twice this year in 2 separate series, I will not gloat.
I wasn't gloating.
Oh, no,
I was just,
no, you're
just chuckling.
I watched the rest of the World League World Series because I watched a wrestling pay-per-view before that. And then
look at the story he's making up. He's laughing.
Here's the thing.
I flipped over to the Mets. They were up 2-0.
Okay, and how good is that lead? How good does that lead make you feel, even as a Yankees fan?
It made me feel good.
It makes you a little nervous going into the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning. So you just know 2 runs is nothing. Good luck holding on to that, and hopefully they do, and they didn't. Luke Perry is on today. We're learning that there are at least 3 or 4 debates that are coming up in the 22nd Congressional District.
Yeah,
Mannion versus our current congressman.
We will have Mannion on later this week, and also Brandon Williams. I actually saw and spoke to John Mannion yesterday. He was in attendance at the Vehicles for Vision car show at CABV on Sunday yesterday, which was a great success.
Later in the hour, we'll speak with House GOP leading independent probe. The House GOP is leading into the probe into the assassination attempt of Trump. They're going to investigate how this all went down. It really doesn't make any sense, does it? As we're looking at it, and that building that was not a part of their protected zone doesn't make any sense at all. But we'll speak with Ryan Schmelz on that. Luke Perry from Utica University was actually in attendance at the DNC. We'll get a take from him.
Indeed he was.
And what he feels the impact of RFK Jr. is going to be. That'll be interesting. DA Todd Carville back on. A man has been charged with the Elizabeth Gerling murder to undergo a competency test. When you start reading this story, this is out there. There are a lot of weird things that were going on.
Yeah. There was something about a suspicious person report allegedly involving Kirch the day before.
Driving the camper around, dropping the camper off at someone's house, a stranger's house.
Yeah, that was weird.
Alleged naked running around Rome. Ended up being picked up by Rome PD and put into the hospital for emergency psych issues. And then all of a sudden, his girlfriend, the principal and at the Utica School District, ends up strangled to death.
Now, there were people that were talking about the fact that he had gone to a Fish concert, which there's rumors that happened. But if you
I believe KTV is reporting that, and
well,
I believe the sheriff confirmed that he believed that was true. I believe, and maybe I'm wrong about that, but they were interviewing Sheriff Mashel on Friday and Saturday.
I just have to look at the calendar. I'd have to look at the calendar here quickly because the murder happened. The alleged murder happened on the 20th, and the Fish concert was on the 18th.
I can't imagine that if you took psychedelics on the 18th
in Delaware.
I understand, which is not that far away,
right?
But it is. I can't imagine if you took something on the 18th that you'd still be tripping on the 20th.
Right.
Not that I know much about those drugs, but you just don't know, right? I mean, I don't know. However, here is now. This is just me. Okay. This is just me.
I'm listening.
And because there were messages that came out on Facebook from the deceased woman's son, who said, "Don't buy into this mental health issue. He is perfectly sane." So it almost seemed as if he knew something. Well, I'm sure he knows much more than we know. But here's the scenario that I'm saying. If I am plotting the death of someone,
your wife,
I don't even want to go there.
Okay.
Right? So, but if I'm plotting the death of somebody and I want people to believe that I'm nuts, because then I'm not dealing with a prison sentence, I'm dealing with hospitalization.
Yeah.
Maybe it's Marcy Psych. But it's got to be better than going to one of the prisons. I start doing all these crazy things.
Yeah.
I start running around naked.
That's a very...
would someone do such a thing? Oh my God, I've just done something terrible. Let me run around and act as if I'm nuts.
Yeah.
You know?
It's happened before with other situations and scenarios where...
Well, do you remember the mob guy in New York that used to portray himself as he was mentally unfit?
Mm-hmm.
And he'd come rocking back and forth. They'd bring him up in a limousine, and he would say obscure things. Now, many believe that he really wasn't crazy, that he just did that in order to not have to face trial.
Yeah.
Now, is that real? Did that really
other
happen?
Courtroom antic,
I don't know.
Urban legends that we've heard about with peanut butter and things like that.
What about peanut butter?
Well, it's, because it's urban myth. It's, you've heard about it a few times. Did it ever actually happen? Where
I've never heard about the peanut butter story.
Was storing peanut butter in their pants, so they would go to reach for the peanut butter and consume it in the courtroom, and everybody thought...
as if he was...
Yes, yeah.
Well, I think I'd use Nutella. I mean,
do a little blend.
Clearly, big mistake on peanut butter. Then again, you never know, right? You just don't know. Now I see where you're going. That was gross. Anyway, we'll speak with what we do know, what they do know. Oneida County DA Todd Carville will be on a little later on this morning. New York State Fair continues to go. Does it continue to grow? I mean, I think they said
how are the numbers? I think
like 300,000 people were at the fair the other day.
Wow,
that's a pretty big number. And they started off with some cooler weather, but they really have some good weather right now.
Yeah, they do.
I mean, this week's going to be just beautiful for the great New York State Fair. All right, coming up, we'll talk to Ryan Schmelz in a second. We'll get to that. There was a lot of bouncing going on at the trampoline park in Georgia when it recently closed down. Did you know? So a trampoline park, I think we kind of have one here, don't we?
There's one over by...
It's an indoor facility.
Yeah, over by the Party City in New Hartford.
The employees, they said we're closing the doors. All employees received their checks. And guess what happened to the checks?
They bounced.
Perfect. Perfect. Here are parents of two of the younger employees who really felt like, right? I mean, if the checks are bouncing and it's a trampoline park.
Maybe it was a little bit of a joke.
Give me a break.
We're closed and they'll contact us when our last check is available. She was really, really hurt because she really put in a lot of hours. Almost every child's check bounced.
That's comical.
Oh, God.
I would think,
She
right?
didn't even know what she was saying, probably.
In honor of Andrew's start this morning, it's National Toilet Paper Day today.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, there's the age-old question: when you put the roll on, does it go over the top?
Yes, it does.
Or does it go under?
There's no debate.
There is no debate because hotels have made it standard.
Over,
and then they do their little design, like they'll create, right, some sort of a triangle or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then, no one else has used the toilet paper since they did that.
Yeah, okay, I like that.
Right?
Yeah, that's good.
And that, of course, makes it kind of standard.
I always think about things when I go into a hotel room, but I don't ever think of nearly the things you do, so that's good.
I try to bring you to my world.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. Sometimes they have little stickers on there depending on how nice the hotel is.
Oh, right, that it's a fresh roll.
Be a little fresh roll sticker, or at the very least, we put the sticker on to make it look like it's a fresh roll. Yeah. Anyway, there you go. It's National Toilet Paper Day. A novelty company is selling a Trump-themed version of Big Mouth Billy Bass.
Oh, that's funny.
That looks like Trump, sounds like the former president. Here's the commercial they're calling it Trumpy Trout.
Okay.
Interesting. Here's the commercial.
Now, a message from the 45th President of the United Ponds of America.
Let's make fishing great again, okay?
He's here, everyone's favorite fish.
I don't know that this is actual audio from this, but it is going to be a novelty you can get your hands on. And when it comes to Trump, there are many of these novelty type things that you can get. If you like Trump, if you don't like Trump, there are, speaking of National Toilet Paper Day, there's actually a Trump toilet paper out there for probably the people who hate Trump, I would assume.
Okay, look at it. It's a real thing. I'm looking at it right now.
It is a real thing.
Only $59.99 plus $10 shipping and handling.
Is it really called Trumpy Trout?
That's what it's called.
Okay. I guess it does look like
You
a
see it?
fish
Yeah.
with Trump's hair. Okay. Today is also National Dog Day. For those of you out there that love your dogs, National Dog Day is
That we
today
do.
as well. And I got a bunch more to get to here. And football season, I don't know if you've been hearing any of the hype on Syracuse. I know you guys were talking about it. But there are those who are predicting Syracuse might make the NCAA men's football playoffs this year. Is that possible?
The man himself, Nick Saban, saying over the weekend that he makes the intriguing Syracuse playoff prediction, saying they will make it.
Davey, you had a chance to meet the new Syracuse head football coach. Talk about that.
Yeah, so I went to a local car dealership on Saturday morning after 9 and waited in line. I was like the fourth one there, and they were running a couple of minutes late because they had like a pre-morning practice, and it was Fran Brown, Allen Jr., the running back who's been nominated for the Doak Walker Award, the best running back in the nation, a couple offensive and defensive guys.
Okay.
Fran Brown.
You had a conversation with Fran Brown.
Oh yeah, great down to earth guy. He thanked I had all my Syracuse gear on, so he said, "Oh, big big-time man fan coming up. I said, love you guys. And I said, thanks for coming up here. He says, you're going to be impressed with us. We're ready.
Boy,
we're ready. We're ready.
In terms of hype, they are really even talking themselves up.
I think they need to.
I guess.
I think they need to, and
After
hopefully it
some
doesn't
rough,
backfire.
rough years.
And
I hope it doesn't backfire.
And the guy behind me that was waiting in line drove up from Binghamton to meet them, and he predicted that they're going to go 12-0, undefeated, and be one of the teams in the 12-team national championship.
That's kind of what Saban is predicting here. So, did you shake your head and laugh at him?
No, I did. Yes, I did.
Okay, you did. And did you tell did you tell Fran Brown that you were going to help him by letting maybe a little of your mojo rub off on him?
No.
Okay.
Did you ask him if he would come on the show?
No.
No, Davies for Davey when that's going on.
Yeah, no, he's never thinking about us.
This was a personal moment, right? You weren't there on behalf of the radio station.
No, I was there personal for Davey.
Did you have to pay for that?
No.
Okay, very good. All right, coming up, we'll speak with Ryan Schmelz, Fox News Radio on WIBX.
It's common knowledge that after age 30, our metabolism changes. We have less energy and gain weight easier. There's a way to feel better, not in years or months, but sometimes in just days.
I'm Chuck Norris. I tried everything. Working with a team of health experts, we came up with Morning Kick. Morning Kick is a revolutionary new formula that combines all my favorite supplements into one daily drink.
Morning Kick has probiotics to help you lose weight, prebiotics for digestion, superfoods for muscles and joints, and powerful anti-aging supplements. It'll help you feel youthful, energized, and helps manage stress.
I look and feel better than I have in years.
Go to roundhouseprovisions.com, use code SUPPORT, or text SUPPORT to 511-511 and claim 40% off. Roundhouseprovisions.com, code SUPPORT.
Every purchase comes with our 90-day money-back guarantee. You could be feeling these changes within just a couple of days.
Text SUPPORT to 511-511.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Tax fees may apply.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
You know, a lot of times you have to choose between something high quality or something that saves you money. But if you could get both, why not? Especially when it comes to health care. And that is MediShare. You get both. Many families save $500 a month with MediShare, and that's huge. But it's also true that people wind up way more satisfied, too. The member satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. That's because MediShare works. It has for more than 30 years. It's a community of Christians who have shared more than $5 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth. They love the huge PPO network. So, yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price in 2 minutes. Here's the number. Just call 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE, 855-51-BIBLE.
Hello, everyone in Central New York. This is Dave Letterman, your old TV pal. Remember me? I'm supposed to say something witty and funny here about Bill Keeler, but I've got nothing. Ever see a picture of this guy? That's a joke in itself. Anyhow, here's Keeler on WIBX.
Okay, Ryan Schmelz with Fox News Radio, standing by right now. Ryan, and good morning. This is Ryan Schmelz from Fox News Radio. Good morning, Ryan. I finally have you here. Sorry.
Is Letterman now playing a joke on us?
I guess. I mean, can you believe it?
Yeah.
No.
He's hitting the mute button, so I can't talk to you.
Yes, he is. You're absolutely right. That's exactly what's going on. Okay. I'm sure you feel like we do. College football getting started this weekend.
Yep.
Baseball. Our
Yankees
teams
are a game and a half over.
Are all basically in it.
Yeah.
And NFL just 2 weeks away. A little less than 2 weeks away.
Yes. Oh yeah, very exciting season for the NFL starting up, and Ole Miss is ranked number 6 right now, and what's great is that this is going to be the first year ever in college football where you can lose 2 games, and you're like, oh, my team might still win a national title. So I'm very excited for that part.
Yeah, and I don't want to rub any salt in any wounds here, Ryan. It is the preseason, so I don't take much stock in it. But my Packers beat the Ravens in the preseason action this weekend.
They did. We were those. If for a team that used to be undefeated in the preseason for like 8 years or something like that, it was a rough one for us. We were 1-2, very rare.
You'll be fine.
Well, the Bills are in the same boat, and listen, the Bills are looking at some injuries, and they're not fooling around. None of the starters played this weekend, so it's not like you really can expect. When you say you put little credence into the playoffs, or into the preseason, you should put zero.
Very little.
Unless you're Denver. And they played their starters every single game. So, they're looking to impress.
Yeah, well, they need to.
Before they undress during the regular season.
Sean Payton just said, buy Russell Wilson, who we spent all that money on. He's got to make a statement here.
Yeah. All right. By the way, I do have Richard here on Syracuse. I hope SU fans realize they have a real cupcake schedule all year long. If they don't win 10 games, it will be a failure. Unbelievable how easy their season is. Bet Syracuse to go the over and the win-loss total this year.
You have to play the schedule Richard. You've been afforded.
Well,
first-year coach. Let's not set the expectation too high.
It's funny because if they had press day over the weekend, at least at a local car dealership, and I got to tell you, they're setting the bar very high. Fran Brown, is setting the bar very high. So we'll see where all of it goes. We will see. All right. So the GOP House members leading an independent probe into the assassination attempt of Trump. It is something that Democrats and Republicans should be concerned about. I think going forward, what do we know?
And it's something that both parties are very concerned about, because this bipartisan task force that we have is a making of Speaker Mike Johnson as well as Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries. They put this together on a bipartisan basis. They have, I think one more Republican than they do Democrats on the committee, and obviously Republicans are going to be heading the committee, but you have a Republican, chairman and a Republican or a Democrat ranking member. And today they're going to have their first big event that we've seen them go through when they actually go to the rally site where former President Trump was shot. And they're going to be doing a tour. They're going to be meeting with local officials and eventually having a press conference.
I think you have to be concerned when you hear from a number of people in local law enforcement who say they came to the Secret Service and said, we're worried about this spot, and they just kept being told, oh, there's nothing to worry about. It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, there's a lot of different stories and a lot of different accounts we're hearing, but I think the overall consensus is that there are some major concerns with how this situation was handled by Secret Service. There's an internal probe Secret Service is going under. There were a number, at least 5 Secret Service agents who were actually put on leave, including the special agent in charge for, I believe, the Pittsburgh field office, who, and some might believe that took too long, but from what we were told is that the reason why it took so long for these members to be put on leave is that Secret Service is actually not able to interview their members for a while because the FBI was actually investigating.
So, I would assume that, and I know that some Secret Service members have been reassigned, have been given different duties, but I would think that this is going to be a really intense questioning by those House of Representatives.
Certainly. I mean, we saw the Secret Service director appear before the Oversight Committee not too long ago, right before she resigned. And, I mean, it was a mess. She was not answering a lot of the questions. You had a bipartisan group of Republicans and Democrats. It was one of those hearings where you kind of forgot what party each person was in, because there was just this consensus of frustration from both Republicans and Democrats, to the point where the top Democrat by the end of the hearing was actually joining with his Republican counterpart, who was the chairman, in calling on the Secret Service director to step aside. And then they went on Brett Baer later that night and talked about it. So it was a rough go at it. And now we have a new Secret Service director, and there's going to be a hiring process for a new one and everything like that. But I think there has been this bipartisan consensus that this can't happen again, especially when, both parties are going to have presidential candidates and vice presidential candidates, plus the current president on the campaign trail. Secret Service is in more demand than they were a couple months ago, which is a concern.
It is a concern, and this is an agency that we've always thought of as being rock solid, right? The protection of the president. They're willing to give up their lives for the president or whoever they protect. But boy, I believe confidence has waned over the last, not just really the last few months here, but it can go back to weren't they partying in South America during the Obama administration?
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, it just makes you wonder a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, well, keep in mind these are people. They do have lives,
sure.
and we have to acknowledge that. I don't know too much about the stories you just mentioned.
Yeah, it was a partying
on
duty, while on duty.
Oh, yeah, that's not good.
Yeah,
it's not good.
Yeah.
But the reality is too, Secret Service, I think, is facing some of the same troubles that a lot of federal agencies, a lot of law enforcement agencies in particular, and just employers in general, which is finding qualified candidates, finding candidates, period, right now. So there's a lot of challenges the Secret Service certainly has, but when you're talking about some of these tactical errors and some of these just errors that they're accused of making throughout this process of that led up to that rally and that shooting of former President Trump, I mean, there's not a lot of excuses you can make for that. A lot of them just seem like they're unacceptable. So that's what this committee is going to get to the bottom of.
Sure. It seems like the average person could look at that outer building and say, that doesn't look safe.
I think a high schooler would have been able to.
You don't need to be
that looks weird.
A Secret Service expert. So
and we've had some other committees actually go there and to the site because there was that talk about how the roof was sloped a certain way that was not safe for agents, and then you had men who were in their 70s climbing up there and being like, "Well, I'm walking on here just fine." So we don't buy this excuse.
Yeah, not at all. Okay, Ryan, interesting stuff. We'll see where we go later in the week.
All right, sounds good. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Have a great day. Ryan Schmelz with Fox News Radio. Mike, this morning, did you just refer to the Chinese Little League team as the Chinese Tide Pod? It may sound that I said that, but it's kind of does.
Oh, Taipei, right?
Yeah. The Secret Service investigation should be bipartisan. Assassins are equal opportunity killers. The reality is this could be a Republican president today. It could be a Democratic president tomorrow. Either way, and by the way, there is Secret Service detail on former presidents.
Yeah,
so
and I think
this should be bothering all Americans.
I think a big question, too, is, a little bit more of the delve into the motivation here, right? I mean, clearly he was not a fan of maybe the president. The former president.
Well, it looks like he wasn't a fan of any politics. He was actually doing research on Biden as well. Some wonder, but I don't know when he would get to Biden. Maybe when he was getting off the helicopter. I don't know. There weren't a lot of rallies or opportunities for that. Nonetheless,
a little delve into how and if there was anybody else connected.
We even know much about this kid at this point.
Yeah.
Right?
Very strange.
And I would say that if you're some evil agency, some evil entity out there that wanted to kill the former president, you would have gone with someone with a little more experience.
Yeah.
Right? I would think. So to think that there's someone else involved, I just don't know. But they're going to try to get to the bottom of it. And that begins this week. Did you see, there comes a moment, I don't want to pick sides in this by any means, however, you remember the story that came out about Judge Gall and the
I do remember it well.
Graduation party. Well, it seems that last week she filed an appeal.
Yeah, which she has the right to do.
Which she does have the right to do. Former notice of Justice Gall's desire to have her fate reconsidered by the State Court of Appeals was filed last week on the 16th. I got to tell you, with just the body cam footage, the videos that are out there, if it was me, I understand you have the right. You're going to fight for your rights. Maybe you're fighting for retirement. You're fighting to be able to get your job back, whatever it is you're fighting for. But, that means all that stuff's going to be reviewed all over again. It was pretty bad.
Yeah, it's almost like, to your point, why would you want to put yourself through that or give them another opportunity maybe to find something else that they can go after you on? Very difficult.
Her attorney, pursuant to judiciary law, we do not accept the determination of the Commission on Judicial Conduct and request a review of the Court of Appeals of the determination. Robert Julian from here is her attorney. The Commission on Judicial Conduct last month urged the Court of Appeals to end Gall's tenure after the investigation, after the graduation party, after she said things like, get off the property, and that's from Judge Gall. I'm an effing judge. Gall is accused of telling the teens who were black, which probably didn't help. And then she several times on video said, if they come back and they're on the property, they're on our property, we can shoot them.
Or you should shoot them.
Or you should shoot them. Yeah. At one point, she did say we. Then we'll shoot them. You know, they're on the property. Meanwhile, what is interesting about this whole thing is there are videos with audio. You can check them out up on our website. And it's a little rough.
If I'm not mistaken, you know, there could be a whole other can of worms opened as far as that body cam footage, because they'll look for any excuse to take away an existing permit if something like that happened. I don't know what ability
like
she
a gun
has
permit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Well, you're going to get an Uber, buddy, or you're going to get a cop escort home. That's how it's happening. That's what I'm telling you right now. That's how I roll. That's how I roll. That's how Mrs. G rolls. That's how Judge Gall rolls. And at the end of the day, this wasn't her property. I think I would have backed into the car and be like, listen, we're getting out of here. I don't want to be any part of this.
Out.
Huh?
I would have been out.
That's my point.
Yeah,
get in my car,
agree.
go home. Like, okay, good luck with you guys. We're going to get out of here. But apparently she don't roll that way.
Jesus.
5 police agencies were called to quell the dispute. Police reportedly said the teens would leave after they found the dropped key. This report is in the Times Union, but this story has been covered all over, not just here, but all over. So, oh boy.
Well, she's a Supreme Court judge.
It is a little cringe-worthy, would you say?
Yeah.
Did you add to this on me?
I did, yeah.
Okay. We've added Ed Welch. Vehicles for Vision car show. Great success over the weekend. Stefan, I think, wants to call in about that. We have also a rumor out there about Stefan that turned out to be not true.
Right.
I think he wants to address that as well.
Yeah, so we're working on getting Stefan at some point.
He's just going to call.
Yeah,
you don't have to book him. He's just going to. I think we can be confident that he will call.
We'll see. I don't know because he's not responding.
Let's break. We have news coming up top of the hour at WIBX.
My Carl's back-to-school clearance is on now. I'm slashing prices to make room. Now's the time to buy. Rocker recliners, $199. Top grain leather power recliners, $299. Sofa with a matching chair, $399. More great deals. 3-piece dining sets, just $149. Student desk, slashed in price. Floor sample mattresses, every size, 50% off. It's all in stock. Buy it today, take it home today. Plus, no credit needed financing. Don't wait. Get to My Carl's and I will save you money.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
We all like convenience, right? ATMs, takeout food, drive-through pharmacies. Now, Bremer's is making it just as convenient to enjoy your favorite wines and spirits with Bremer's to go. It's simple. Place your order at bremerswineandliquor.com or save $5 on your first order with our mobile app. Order during store hours for pickup within an hour. Hey, you can even call us when you get to the store and we'll bring your order right out and load it in the car for you. Now that's convenience. Maybe you're planning a party, Maybe you want to stock up on your favorite wines, or you just want to save time when you're out and about. Whatever the reason, at Bremer's, we're all about incredible customer service. So when you're on the go, we are too. Order at bremerswineandliquor.com or save $5 with our mobile app. Order during store hours for pickup within an hour. It's Bremer's to go, available 7 days a week from Bremer's Wine and Liquor on Commercial Drive in New Hartford.
Whatever happened to Tony Horton, the guy who created the revolutionary P90X?
2017, I was knocked down. A very rare type of shingles that went straight into my brain. My body was completely wasting away. I started researching everything related to building my muscle back again. That's when I learned about the potential of HMB plus vitamin D3 and what they can do when it comes to helping build new muscle.
So Tony developed high-impact protein by Power Life.
Just add 1 scoop of high-impact protein to a glass of water or your morning smoothie and enjoy the effects of that boss molecule and factory worker combination. Reshaping your body each and every day. More energy, burn more fat, and probably drop a few pounds along the way.
High-impact protein by Power Life is a tasty once-a-day powder that comes in either whey or plant protein. Go to mypowerlife.com and use code MUSCLE to save 30%. Tony even offers a 90-day guarantee. Go to mypowerlife.com or text MUSCLE to 511-511. Text MUSCLE to 511-511 today. All individuals are unique. Your results can and will vary. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Tax fees may apply.
Hey, is it possible to drive an award-winning Mazda with 0% APR financing? And the answer to that is absolutely yes. Steve Punny Mazda, Commercial Drive in Yorkville. You can drive a new 2024 Mazda CX-5 SE model for only $285 a month on a 36-month lease. Or you can save with 0%, that's 0% APR financing on select award-winning new 2024 Mazdas. See the dealership for details. As Ricky Z always says, come on down and let's make your deal on a new Mazda, where it's always easy to do business. Steve Punny Mazda, Commercial Drive in Yorkville. And that 0% APR financing is in effect right now. You can take advantage. All right, got a break. We have news straight ahead, top of the hour at 7 o'clock.
From the Stanley Theater Studios, WIBX Utica, Rome, W295EI, WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, a Town Square media station.
Trading blows as ceasefire talks failed to produce a deal. Gianna Gelosi, Fox News. The Middle East remains on edge after Israel and Hezbollah traded a major barrage of rockets over the Israel-Lebanon border Sunday. Fox's Jackie Ibanez has more.
Israel says it carried out preemptive strikes against the Iranian-backed group prior to the showdown. The IDF claims it detected a large-scale attack was imminent. Both Iran and Hezbollah have been threatening retaliation against Israel for weeks now, following the assassinations of a top Hamas and Hezbollah leader. This all coming as ceasefire and hostage talks continue between Israel and Hamas in Cairo. A U.S. official says they have been constructive. Negotiators are trying to bridge gaps between the warring sides in hopes it will prevent a wider regional conflict. Talks are expected to continue over the coming days.
Russia hit Ukraine with a massive overnight drone and missile attack. At least 4 people are dead. Fox's Jonathan Savage.
Power and water appeared to be the target, with supplies disrupted in the capital, Kyiv. Explosions continued to ring out there through the morning rush hour. Ukraine's Air Force says multiple groups of Russian drones were used to assault all regions of the country. They were followed up by cruise and ballistic missiles. NATO aircraft in Poland were activated since the strikes came close to the Polish border. The U.S. Embassy issued a warning last week of an elevated risk of attack around Ukrainian Independence Day, which was marked on Saturday. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
With the 2024 presidential tickets for Democrats and Republicans officially set, the candidates setting their sights on key battleground states this week. Former President Trump is going to be in Michigan today, where he's going to speak to thousands of troops at the National Guard Association's annual business meeting. Vice President Harris kicks off a bus tour through southern Georgia this week. America is listening to Fox News.
Progressive presents 10 things on a contractor's to-do list that are harder than getting a commercial auto insurance quote. Bidding a new client, giving an accurate estimate, finding affordable materials, getting a client to pay you for work you already did, getting a client to pay you, period, securing permits and workers and tools, getting those workers and tools to work together, and finding the perfect pair of overalls. Pockets, baby. But the easiest thing on a small business owner's to-do list? Seeing if you can save on commercial auto insurance. Get a quote in as little as 7 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Coverage subject to policy terms and conditions.
On August 30th, Reagan returns to office.
We are the greatest country in the world. We have just forgotten it.
You can run from a bully for so long, but after a while, you're going to have to stand up to him. I am about to start the biggest war of this century.
You told me you wanted to make a difference in this world.
What would you have me do?
I want you to fight!
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
Reagan in theaters Friday, August 30th. Rated PG-13. May not be suitable for children under 13.
2 astronauts stuck in space, and NASA announcing they're going to stay at the International Space Station for a few more months.
There's lots of reaction to NASA's decision to have astronauts Butch Wilmore and Sonny Williams remain in space until February. They will return to Earth on a SpaceX Dragon 9 capsule instead of the troubled Boeing Starliner spacecraft that carried them to the International Space Station. The big decision comes after Boeing Starliner had several helium leaks and thruster problems. Aerospace engineer and aviation attorney Arthur Rosenberg says the situation underscores Boeing's ongoing issues. Butch and Sonny will remain at the International Space Station and complete research and cargo work. They may also do a couple of spacewalks toward the end of their extended expedition.
That's Fox's Christina Coleman. Astronauts Sonny Williams and Butch Wilmore have been stuck in space since early June. A new study suggests that spending too much time on your phone, computer, or TV in your 20s can affect your health later in life. Fox's Tanya J. Powers.
Too much screen time in your 20s can reduce your odds of making it to 60, according to the study, which tracked the health of more than 4,000 adults over 30 years. The team at the University of California, San Francisco found that for every additional hour spent watching TV when participants were 23 years old was tied to a 26% higher odds for developing heart disease over the course of the study. It was also linked with 16% higher odds for heart attacks and strokes. The study's lead author says more screen time can take the place of other things like sleep and physical activity. The study was published in the Journal of General Internal Medicine. Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
And Hurricane Hone drenching Hawaii with flooding rains as it passes just south of the Big Island. Hone had top wind speeds of 85 miles per hour Sunday morning. We're also keeping an eye on a second storm that's zeroing in on the islands. Hurricane Gilma, churning through the Pacific, could impact Hawaii this week. It's a powerful Category 3 right now. I'm Jan Pelosi. This is Fox.
Good morning, WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM News Time, 7:05. I'm Andrew Derminio. This update brought to you by the new Destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. Right now, we're at 58 degrees under mostly sunny skies, making our way into the mid-80s today. Your full forecast in minutes. Defense attorneys for murder suspect Jeremy Kirch have requested he undergo a competency evaluation following a brief appearance in Marcytown Court Friday. According to the Oneida County District Attorney's Office, Kirch, 45, of Camden, appeared before the town justice Friday afternoon to schedule a felony hearing on one count of second-degree murder. Prosecutors said Kirch's defense attorneys requested a competency evaluation to determine if Kirch understands the charge against him and to see if he can assist with his own defense. The case was adjourned until November. The two candidates competing to represent the 22nd Congressional District will be taking part in 4 debates. The debates between incumbent Republican Congressman Brandon Williams and Democrat State Senator John Mannion are on October 1st, October 8th, October 22nd, and the last week of October. The 22nd District covers all of Madison and Onondaga counties, plus parts of Cortland, Cayuga, and Oneida counties. Election Day is Tuesday, November 5th. The Fayetteville-Manlius Central School District is mourning the loss of a popular teacher. On Saturday, 48-year-old David Engel was driving on East Seneca Turnpike in Manlius when he lost control of his vehicle, which hit several telephone poles before rolling over. Engel, who taught English and theater, was brought to Upstate University Hospital, where he later passed away. The cause of the accident is still under investigation. Central New York drivers are still handing over a little less money when it comes time to fill up their vehicles. According to AAA, the average cost for a gallon of regular fuel is down to $3.48. That's down 3 cents in the last week and 9 cents lower than it was this time 1 month ago. Right now, the state average is sitting at $3.51 a gallon, while nationally it's $3.35. The State Division of Consumer Protection is again issuing a scam warning, this time for older New Yorkers. The agency says folks in that age group are being targeted with reverse mortgage, money moving, and investment scams. Experts say if something sounds too good to be true, it likely is, and to never rush into any major financial decision. Also, don't give out your social security number or banking information to someone who's unknown. More tips can be found on the Division of Consumer Protection website. And the Oneida County Sheriff's Office is searching for a missing 16-year-old. The Sheriff's Office says Liliana S. Clark of Vienna left her home around 11:45 Friday night. Her family says she did not bring her cell phone with her, and they have not had any contact with her since. The Sheriff's Office says she was last seen wearing a white sweatshirt and tan sweatpants. Anyone with information is asked to call the Sheriff's Office at 315-765-2226. It is 7:08. Your weather forecast is brought to you by Clinton Tractor, the leader in service. Visit clintontractor.net. For today, we will see maybe a rain shower or thunderstorm, otherwise mostly sunny skies with a high in the mid-80s. Overnight, we'll see mostly clear skies with a low in the upper 50s. Tomorrow, sunny skies with a high in the mid-80s. Right now, we're at 58 degrees under sunny skies at 7:09. Sports brought to you by IBEW NECA 43 local contractors. The Giants received some good news regarding the health of their offensive line. According to the Post, starting center John Michael Schmitz and backup tackle Evan Neal did not incur any serious injuries after undergoing MRIs. Both players left Saturday's preseason finale against the Jets with ankle issues. Head coach Brian Daboll did say that starting left guard John Runyon Jr. is expected to be back on the field this week. New York opens the regular season September 8th when the G-Men host the Vikings at MetLife Stadium. Jets head coach Robert Saleh is a big fan of his starting quarterback. Saleh recently said that he trusts Aaron Rodgers because any organization that has a future Hall of Fame quarterback will defer to him. Saleh also admitted to Rodgers having more experience in coaching than most of the coaches on their staff. The Jets received criticism following the signings of former Packers teammates Randall Cobb and Allen Lazard. After finishing the preseason undefeated, Gang Green will open the regular season September 9th when they visit San Francisco on Monday Night Football. The Yankees captured their rubber match against the Rockies after cruising to a 10-3 victory at Yankee Stadium. Marcus Stroman got the win. Aaron Judge launched a pair of home runs to become just the fifth player in MLB history with three different 50-homer seasons. Juan Soto, Giancarlo Stanton, and Gleyber Torres also all went deep for the Bronx Bombers. They're leading the AL East by a game and a half at 77-54. They'll visit the Nationals for a three-game series that starts tonight. The Mets split their four-game series with the San Diego Padres after falling 3-2 in the finale at Petco Park. They are now 2.5 games back from the NL wildcard spot, and they'll visit the Arizona Diamondbacks for a three-game set that begins tomorrow night at Chase Field. If you are dealing with pain in your neck, your back, knee, wrist, arthritis, or neuropathy pain, or maybe foot and ankle pain like I was dealing with, you should give Revive Softwave Therapy a try. 315-725-8427. 315-725-8427. I'll give that number again in just a bit. When you call them up, say you heard about them on the Keeler Show, and they'll give you a sweet discount, part of Discovery Days, which will include your initial consultation with one of their doctors, your first softwave therapy treatment, and they'll put you on a recovery plan and assessment that's right for you. You know, the NFL season is upon us, and there are a few football teams using this technology that's available right here in Utica in their locker rooms, like the Steelers and the Giants. It is a device that sends high-speed sound waves to the impacted area, which promotes blood flow and your body's natural stem cells to be directed to that area, and it promotes natural healing. It's an FDA-cleared, non-invasive, and drug-free treatment for chronic pain, inflammation, and joint issues. So you give them a call, 315-725-8427, 315-725-8427, or visit their website, revivesoftwave.com. That's reviveutica.com. And let the healing begin with Revive Softwave Therapy on Genesee Street.
Okay, coming up this hour, it's Micah's free money question of the day. And
what is Davey going to
What are we going to do in terms of money? We'll get to Davey in a second on that. Also, and we'll do that about 7:35. Also, Luke Perry, professor of political science at Utica University. He's coming right up at WIBX.
There's no glory in getting beat up on the job. Aches and pains aren't trophies. They're just barriers keeping pros like you from getting work done. But Ferris commercial mowers at Clinton Tractor help you finish strong and feel good doing it with patented suspension technology. Visit Clinton Tractor today for a test drive and feel the Ferris difference. Or go to clintontractor.net. Ferris, work hard, feel good.
We are the leader in service, Clinton Tractor.
Hi, I'm Cesar Milan. People are always commenting on how healthy my dogs are. One of the reasons is the food my dogs eat.
Dr. Marty's Nature's Blend is a premium freeze-dried raw dog food designed to support your dog's health, happiness, and lifespan. Save up to 54% off Nature's Blend and get a free bag of cod Krispies. Go to drmartypets.com/deal or text DEAL to 511-511.
Your order is back with a 90-day guarantee.
All dogs are unique. Your dog results can and will vary. Message and data rates may apply.
This is Dr. Robert Fleischer, urologist with Mohawk Valley Health System. MVHS, in collaboration with Upstate Urology, is hosting a free prostate cancer screening event throughout the month of September to recognize Prostate Cancer Awareness Month and encourage men to get screened. Prostate cancer is the most common cancer and unfortunately the second leading cause of cancer death in American men. Approximately 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer during his lifetime. Early diagnosis of prostate cancer significantly increases the likelihood of survival. The free screenings include a prostate exam with a prostate-specific antigen blood test. I strongly encourage all men aged 45 to 75 to participate. Early detection can mean the difference between life and death. For more information or to register, please visit mvhealthsystem.org or call 315-624-4600. That's 315-624-4600.
The Stanley Theater in downtown Utica presents 1964, The Tribute, on Thursday, September 19th. For more information and to purchase tickets, visit thestanley.org.
Adirondack Home Furniture is the area's go-to store for top-quality, durable, American-made pieces for any room. And all month long, Adirondack Home Furniture is having a summer sale event on select floor pieces. Stop in and check out their hot summer buys all month long through Labor Day weekend. Are you looking for a better night's sleep? Then check out their selection of Restonic mattresses or their private label flippable mattress line. Once you select the perfect piece for your space, they can deliver it locally free of charge, or you can pick it up from their showroom. So stop into Adirondack Home Furniture today for their summer sales event and save big on select floor pieces and take what you love home today and save even more in their clearance room with many new markdowns and price to sell items. Adirondack Home Furniture in Riverside Center, Utica. Give them a call at 315-738-7817 or visit AdirondackHomeFurniture.com.
Aches and pains aren't trophies. They're just barriers keeping pros like you from getting the work done. You know this business can be back-breaking. All the more reason to partner with someone who has your back, like Clinton Tractor and Ferris Commercial Mowers. Ferris is about helping you finish strong and feel good doing it, with patented suspension technology that allows you to mow faster and get more work done in comfort so you can feel good tomorrow. Visit Clinton Tractor today or at clintontractor.net. Ferris, work hard, feel good.
Keeler in the Morning invites you to connect with us through telephonic communication at 315-736-0186 or use the Call Us button on the WIBX 950 app. For additional contact methodologies, please refer to WIBX950.com.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
to tell you, a lot of talk this morning on the Judge Gall situation. A lot of people feeding back, if you will. And I'm going back and forth with Bill Morehouse this morning on the Mets. We both feel uncomfortable with relief pitching. It's a big problem.
I can relate.
And, when you're, you have such a great performance by your starting pitcher and you have a 2-0 lead, you got to be able to rely on middle relief and a closer to come in and shut them down. And, boy, it almost looked like Diaz, that last pitch that resulted in a home run at the bottom of the ninth. It almost looked like he was pitching for maybe somebody in the home run derby.
Oh, yeah.
Just kind of lobbing it in there and putting it right. I want to make sure I put that right in the perfect place for you.
There's been a few times this year that I've seen, including the Yankees had to bring in Oswaldo Cabrera to pitch because they had no relievers. The game had gotten away so much that they had to just have a regular infielder come in. Those are always
fun.
entertaining.
They're
to
fun,
watch.
entertaining, scary.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, Luke Perry is a political science professor at Utica University and is following carefully what is anticipated to be quite a race for the congressional seat here in NY22. This will include Utica. It skips most of Rome and makes its way out to Syracuse. Luke, good morning. Thanks so much for coming on.
Good morning.
So here we go. Labor Day just around the corner. This is going to move very quickly.
I think so. I think the next phase of the congressional campaign will be debate. And obviously in a presidential election year, that's going to trickle down and have some influence as well. So I think those will be the main things to look for moving forward.
So what do you think? I mean, how do you assess this race? I will tell you, a lot of people feel that, especially because of the makeup of the district, that Mannion is coming in with an advantage. What are your thoughts?
I agree. I think because the ground has shifted under Representative Williams, that it's really going to be difficult to be reelected, which is such an oddity given the nature of congressional elections where incumbents get reelected the vast majority of the time, over 90%. But I think in this case, it's going to be really difficult, and he's most likely going to lose.
Which is why I think you're seeing the incumbent agree to more debates than the challenger right now.
That's conventional strategy. If you're behind, you want more opportunities to reset the race, and debates are the types of forums where you can do that. So I think that's accurate.
Okay, so will you personally be a part of any of these upcoming debates?
No.
Okay.
I hope to attend a couple and see him in person, but I won't be participating as a moderator.
Well, they're missing out. I'm just going to tell you.
Yeah, I would say so.
That's kind of you. I appreciate that.
Okay, so let's move into again, year after year, I seem to say to you, boy, it must be really great to teach political science right now because all of these incredible things that have been happening. What a cycle on the presidential side. What abnormalities, the change at the top of the ticket for the Democrats. I mean, this is you just couldn't really have predicted all of this.
Absolutely. I think that's the defining feature of what we've seen in electoral politics at the presidential level. It's just unpredictability. So I think, long story short, in the last month or so, we've seen Donald Trump survive an assassination attempt. We've seen the Republicans pull off an extraordinarily effective convention, and I think Trump was at the pinnacle of his popularity, and both within the Republican Party and arguably beyond, right at the end of that convention. And then, of course, Biden steps aside. Things have been reset. I think the Harris campaign has done as good a job by any metric that could be imagined up to this point, all the way through the Democratic convention, where in the biggest speech of their life, Democrats believe she delivered. And here we are, an extraordinarily close race.
And a debate coming up in just 2 weeks, 3 weeks, that is just highly, highly anticipated.
Well, I was just reading recently that Donald Trump was criticizing ABC and may not participate, so that none of that's guaranteed, as we just mentioned, in terms of unpredictability. But you would think that both of them would get together at some point for at least one debate.
Yeah.
And I think that's the next test for Harris. Obviously, Harris has the momentum. The race is essentially tied, right? I mean, if you've got these swing states and they're within a couple percentage points either way, that doesn't really matter to me because it's all within the margin of error. So they're essentially tied in a gray area, and Harris is just trying to keep the train on the track and jump over one hurdle after the other in a condensed campaign format that's pretty unprecedented. And so she got through the convention well, and she's looking to get through the debates well. And Trump is really needs to rethink his approach and messaging, I think. He's got the Republican base, no doubt, locked up, and they'll turn out for him. But Harris has been able to expand the field in terms of states that are in play, bring historic constituencies back within the Democratic Party, young voters, black voters, Latino voters, and is competitive with suburbanites. And those suburbanites, I think, are going to be a problem for Trump unless he figures out a way to pivot.
So it is interesting and unprecedented that you would see a former cabinet members, a vice president, a former Republican president, and many others who have walked away from Trump, and even in some cases have participated during the Democratic National Convention. Completely unprecedented. That is a problem for, I would feel, that's a problem for Trump. It shows you that there are those defectors in the Republican Party that are just looking for somebody to say that they could live with casting their vote for that person. And will that be Kamala Harris? We'll find out. On the other hand, you have RFK Jr., who has been debated all throughout his candidacy here. I have felt that he draws from both, and maybe even a little more Trump than from the Democrats. What is your take on this? And what is the impact? What is the impact of RFK Jr. Dropping out of the race and endorsing Trump? So if you could start with the Democrats.
Well, I think Kennedy's influence on the race is a little hazy. I think my read of the polling was that he was drawing a little bit more from Trump than Harris, but trying to extrapolate what that's going to mean when people start voting here is very difficult because Kennedy's going to be on the ballot in a bunch of states, but not most of them. So it's hard to read the extent to which Kennedy supporters will still vote for him, even if he's on the ballot, even though he's endorsed Trump. So I'm not sure how that all is going to shake out. But obviously for Trump, it's not bad. If you can get an endorsement and someone who's your rival drops out, it's not going to hurt you.
Well, and a Kennedy, as a matter of fact, whether he is on the outs or not, he's still RFK's son. Yeah, definitely. And then in terms of disaffected Republicans, I was at the Democratic Convention as media, and seeing Stephanie Grissom, for instance, a former White House press secretary and former chief of staff of First Lady Melania Trump, say what she said about Donald Trump was quite extraordinary. I don't know on the convention stage how much that really matters. I don't think a lot of Republicans are sitting down and watching the Republican convention. But I think the larger issue of you've seen a segment of Republicans who are diehard Republicans, but they don't think Trump is good for the party or good for the country, gravitate away. Not a huge chunk, but 5, 10, 15%. And that could be pivotal. I think they supported Biden in 2020. They helped swing some of the congressional races in 2022. And they were not enthused about voting for Biden again this election. But now with Biden off the ticket and Harris on the ticket, I think they're more inclined to vote for Harris rather than not vote. And that could help the Harris campaign. Joan, stand by. I'll get to you. She has a question for you. I do want to ask you about Harris. Up to the point where she became the candidate, she really hadn't been given a great deal of a role publicly in the administration. In fact, even Democrats would say anyone but Harris. It can't be Harris. And now they seem to have somehow been able to find a way to repair her image. Is that long lasting? Does it last through the campaign?
That's a good question. I think, first off, being vice president is really not a great job. It seems like it is on the surface, but you have little to no formal responsibilities, usually put in charge loosely of stuff that is not easy, and you don't actually get to make the calls anyways. So I think that's the difficult spot to emerge out of. But you're absolutely right. Most people think she didn't do well in her first presidential run, but now she's exceeding expectations by any metric. You hear a lot about when will the honeymoon period end. I think after a certain amount of time, you have to say it's not a honeymoon anymore. Harris is just performing well in the eyes of Democrats and moderates, and I think that the challenge is just to keep it on the track. And one sort of nerdy thing I'll add, I think the reshuffling of the Biden campaign was significant, right? Harris basically inherited Biden's whole campaign infrastructure, moved some people out, and moved other people in, and those people were from Obama's campaign, people like David Plouffe. And that's why you see echoes of the 2008 campaign on the campaign trail for Harris. And I think now you have the brightest of the Democratic campaign strategists working together, and I think getting those Obama people in has really helped her strategically.
Can they recreate that? I mean, here you have the first woman and a first woman of color running for president and ultimately could become president of the United States.
Well, I think you've seen two amazing things. One, the Democrats have tried to flip the script on the Republicans. At this Democratic convention, two of the major themes were freedom and patriotism, right, to a great degree. And that's something that Republicans have run on and won on in recent years for a long time. And now Democrats are trying to inherit that message, and I think they're doing it to some success. And then secondly, I think you've seen the message of hope and change, which were the campaign slogan essentially of Obama in 2008. And that is remarkable too, because you've got a sitting vice president running as a change candidate.
Yeah.
But when it was looking like it was going to be a rematch between Biden and Trump, two unpopular presidents that most Americans didn't want to see in a rematch, that's created this unique moment where Harris can capitalize on it.
Yeah.
And I think negative attention to her gender, for instance, is getting less play than this opportunity to have somebody younger who seems energizing and competent and so on to at least Democrats and some moderates.
Joan is in Rome with a question for you. Luke, Joan, good morning. You're on with Luke Perry.
Good morning. I was just wondering, Kamala Harris says that she's the candidate of joy. If you go back to the Nazis, if you type in joy and Nazi, it'll come out that was their slogan, strength through joy, used by the KDF to try to make people feel that they were the happy party while they were doing evil things.
Joan, I'm going to hang up and let Luke answer that, okay?
Thank you.
All right. Luke, have at it.
Well, I think when you think of Donald Trump and his political style, it's certainly one of being on the offensive, and some would say even a politics of grievance. And those are what you would call negative campaign themes that are really focusing on criticizing the other side to benefit yourself. And then going negative is quite common in electoral politics. I think it's been a defining feature of Trump. In contrast to that, I think you've seen Kamala Harris, who's trying to make an opposite message and saying that people are tired of someone just launching personal attacks for a long period of time. They want a more positive vision of where America is now and where it can go. And I think that's where you see this emphasis on joy. I'm not familiar with documented connections between Nazis and joy, but
I never have thought of Hitler as a campaigner of joy, but maybe that exists out there. Part of history I've never heard of before. So
I think it's the larger campaign strategy. It'll remain to see if it works. So far, so good for the Harris campaign.
You're right. It's up to this point, it has worked. All right, Luke Perry, always appreciate your opinion and your take on all of this. We'll do it again sometime soon.
My pleasure. Have a great day.
You do the same. Thank you. Got a break coming up. Hobica's free money question of the day. Davey, what'd you say? Maybe Joe has gotten in contact with you?
No.
No?
Denial.
What's your number?
100.
Denial is a river.
In this world of politics, we don't always believe what people say, do we?
Yeah, no, I don't.
Okay, Davey. All right.
Whatever you
say. So it's $100. What caller number are you looking for?
Caller 7.
Okay. 7th caller, 315-736-0186.
During the Dog Days of Summer sales event at Destination Kia of Utica,
the deals are sizzling hot
with no money down leases on over 400 new Kias.
Like the sleek and sexy 2025 Kia K5 LXS for only $398 a month for 36 months.
That's with zero down, zero due at inception, and sales tax included.
The 2025 Kia K5 is made to be seen.
You'll be turning heads driving back and forth on I-90.
Now that's kooky. Make that short drive to save.
So go kooky for Kia at Destination Kia of Utica. Puppies and babies not included.
2025 Kia K5 LXS STK number 25K0060. MSRP $28,330. 36 months, 30,000 mile lease. 20 cents per mile over. Zero due at inception, zero security deposit. 8.75% sales tax and $650 acquisition fee included in payment structure. $400 disposition fee. 720 plus FICO score. Offer expires 9/3/2024.
Hi, I'm Pete from Big Apple Music and Electronics. Do you want to protect your property or business? We sell and install hundreds of camera surveillance systems each year, and we are New York State licensed. Big Apple Music sells security cameras with Starlight night vision, giving the best picture in the dark so you have the best chance of catching criminals. Our showroom is located on Commercial Drive in New Hartford, where we can give you a demonstration or we'll come spec the job at your location. Big Apple Music, 315-732-4162.
As fall approaches, you have a lot to prepare for. Back to school, sporting events, family gatherings, and staying on top of your health. The virus that causes COVID-19 continues to evolve. So this fall, no matter what you're prepping for, you can prioritize your family's health and make a game plan for COVID-19 vaccination. Ask your doctor or pharmacist to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hi, I'm Cesar Milan. People are always commenting on how happy and healthy my dogs are. One of the reasons is the food my dogs eat.
Introducing Dr. Marty's Nature's Blend, a premium freeze-dried raw dog food.
I have been feeding them Dr. Marty's freeze-dried raw formula for years. And this food is a big part of why their jaws are more flexible, their teeth are cleaner, and their coats shinier, and why they seem more youthful and playful.
And dog parents across the U.S. are loving it.
My dog Hazel is a 10-and-a-half-year-old golden retriever, and ever since I've been feeding her Dr. Marty's Nature's Blend food, she is like a puppy again. It's unbelievable.
We're so confident your dog will love it. Your order is backed with a 90-day guarantee. And for a limited time, save up to 54% off Nature's Blend and get a free bag of Cod Krispies. They're wild-caught, ultra-crunchy cod skin treats. Go to drmartypets.com/deal or text DEAL to 511-511. Text DEAL to 511-511 today. All dogs are unique. Your dog results can and will vary. Message and data rates may apply.
Looking to make your business stand out? At Seasonal Sports, we design eye-catching custom signs that turn heads and attract customers. From vibrant banners and sleek storefront signs to custom vehicle wraps, laser engraving, embroidery, screen printing, and more, Seasonal Sports has got you covered. Let Fred and Chrissy Marriott bring your vision to life with top-quality materials and cutting-edge design. Seasonal Sports is your one-stop shop for all your graphic needs. Seasonal Sports, 215 Oriskany Boulevard in Whitesboro, and online at seasonalsports1983.com, where your business shines bright.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Do you know what time of year it is? It's our annual 50% off window installation sale at New York Sash.
Now through Monday, you can get 50% off installation of any new window.
Need one new window? 50% off installation. 2 new windows? 50% off installation. 10 new windows? 50% off installation.
Choose from double hung, slider, bay, and more. Whatever window you need, we've got it all. All our windows are 50% off installation, and with our windows, you always get energy efficiency, long lasting long-lasting beauty and lifetime warranties.
And did we mention 50% off installation right now?
Plus, with New York Sash, you get a stress-free, hassle-free, headache-free experience because our installers are true certified craftsmen. We never use subcontractors.
So take advantage of our 50% off new window installation. It happens once a year, and it's happening now.
But the sale ends Monday, so drop by our showroom at 349 Oriskany Boulevard in Whitesboro or visit us at NewYorkSash.com.
Good morning, WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM News Time, 7:37. I'm Andrew Derminio. 60 degrees under sunny skies. Your full weather forecast is coming up. The two candidates competing to represent the 22nd Congressional District will be taking part in 4 debates. The debates between incumbent Republican Congressman Brandon Williams and Democrat State Senator John Mannion are on October 1st, October 8th, October 22nd, and then last week of October. The 22nd District covers all of Madison and Onondaga counties, plus parts of Cortland, Cayuga, and Oneida counties. Election Day is Tuesday, November 5th. Defense attorneys for murder suspect Jeremy Kirch have requested he undergo a competency evaluation following a brief appearance in Marcy Town Court Friday. According to the Oneida County Sheriff's Office, 45-year-old Kirch of Camden appeared before the town justice Friday afternoon to schedule a felony hearing on one count of second-degree murder. Prosecutors say Kirch's defense attorneys requested a competency evaluation to determine if Kirch understands the charge against him and to see if he can assist with his own defense. The case was adjourned to November. A beloved Fayetteville Manlius Central School District teacher has passed away. On Saturday, 48-year-old David Engel was driving on East Seneca Turnpike in Manlius when he lost control of his vehicle, which hit several telephone poles before rolling over. Engel, who taught English and theater, was brought to Upstate University Hospital, where he later died. The cause of the accident is still under investigation. Central New York drivers still handing over less money when it comes time to fill up their vehicles. According to AAA, the average cost for a regular gallon of gas is $3.48. That's down 3 cents in the last week and is 9 cents lower than this time a month ago. Right now, the state average is sitting at $3.51 a gallon, while nationally it's $3.35. And TMZ is acknowledging it got it wrong with its reporting that Beyoncé would be performing on the final night of the DNC. The celebrity gossip outlet claimed that the Grammy-winning superstar would sing before Vice President Kamala Harris accepted the Democrat presidential nomination inside Chicago's United Center. However, the site was forced to admit it got this one wrong as the event wrapped up Thursday without an appearance from the superstar. It is 7:39. Your weather forecast is brought to you by the new Destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. For today, we have a beautiful day on the way. Mostly sunny skies with a slight chance of showers, maybe a thunderstorm. Otherwise, a high in the mid-80s. Clear overnight with a low in the upper 50s. Tomorrow, we'll see sunny skies with a high in the mid-80s. You can always get the full 5-day forecast at WIBX950.com. Right now, 60 degrees under sunny skies at 7:40.
All right, let's get a caller right now, Davey. You're looking for caller number what again?
Caller number 7, Bill.
7th caller right now. 315-736-0186. Great question today. And it's worth $100 of Habaika's money. Caller 7, 315-736-0186 right now on WIBX.
Adirondack Home Furniture is the area's go-to store for top-quality, durable, American-made pieces for any room. And all month long, Adirondack Home Furniture is having a summer sale event on select floor pieces. Stop in and check out their hot summer buys all month long through Labor Day weekend. Are you looking for a better night's sleep? Then check out their selection of Restonic mattresses or their private label flippable mattress line. Once you select the perfect piece for your space, they can deliver it locally actually free of charge, or you can pick it up from their showroom. So stop into Adirondack Home Furniture today for their summer sales event and save big on select floor pieces and take what you love home today. And save even more in their clearance room with many new markdowns and price-to-sell items. Adirondack Home Furniture in Riverside Center, Utica. Give them a call at 315-738-7817 or visit AdirondackHomeFurniture.com.
I want to learn how to cook, but I keep ordering takeout.
I plan to rearrange my closet, but I stopped after picking the clothes up off the floor.
Accomplishing goals is hard, but when your goal is to learn a new language, Babbel makes it easy. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel's award-winning language learning app will help you start speaking another language. Start having conversations in as little as 3 weeks.
Comment tu t'appelles? Comment tu t'appelles?
Vous êtes où? Vous êtes où?
Babbel's bite-sized lessons make it easy to learn words and phrases you'll actually use. So when someone asks,
"How's your French going?"
you can say,
Babbel est amusant et facilite grandement l'apprentissage d'une nouvelle langue. Et cela ne prend que 15 minutes par jour.
when you want to really learn another language, it starts with Babbel. Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. Just go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Looking to do something fun for the whole family? Stop in at the 13th Annual St. George Mediterranean Festival, September 7th and 8th. There will be a delicious array of authentic Lebanese and Greek food and desserts. Beer and wine also available. An assortment of vendors, crafts, live music, dancing, and more. The 13th Annual St. George Mediterranean Festival, September 7th and 8th at the St. George Orthodox Church on 350 Higbee Road in New Hartford. A portion of the proceeds will support the ongoing recovery efforts in Rome.
Mom, meet Sarah.
From first-time Nana moments.
Welcome to Flight 101.
To annual girls trip moments. Your can't-miss moments are worth protecting against RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com.
So where should we go next?
Sponsored by Pfizer.
This is Dr. Robert Fleischer, urologist with Mohawk Valley Health System. MVHS, in collaboration with Upstate Urology, is hosting a free prostate cancer screening event throughout the month of September to recognize Prostate Cancer Awareness Month and encourage men to get screened. Prostate cancer is the most common cancer and unfortunately the second leading cause of cancer death in American men. Approximately 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer during his lifetime. Early diagnosis of prostate cancer significantly increases the likelihood of survival. The free screenings include a prostate exam with a prostate-specific antigen blood test. I strongly encourage all men aged 45 to 75 to participate. Early detection can mean the difference between life and death. For more information or to register, please visit mvhealthsystem.org or call 315-624-4600. That's 315-624-4600.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, coming up, we'll get to your comments, and you might want to call in and comment, complain. I have a few doozies. Oh, boy. 315-736-0186. All right, time for Hobica's free money question of the day. Today, it's worth a mere $100. As Mike says, $100. Either Joe got to Davey or Davey used the money to buy SU football autographs. Could be.
I think it's the latter.
Here is Brian and Ilion ready to take a shot. Brian, good morning.
Good morning. How are you? $100. Jesus.
Yeah.
Joe hasn't given away a nickel all month, has he?
What has? I don't think we've had a winner in the month of August.
Nope.
I don't think there's been a winner. Joe's getting free advertisement here, buddy.
Yeah. Okay.
You got that right.
People are angry over this, and they should be. All right. Let's give you a chance. I'm gonna tell you this.
I'm calling all the time on the app.
Yeah.
And it's so hard to get on the app, but I finally got in once.
Well, I'm glad you did. Oh, you called through the app.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
on the phone.
So
but
right. But the beautiful thing is on the app, if you have the app on your phone, you just hit a button and you call the studio. Okay, here we go. Here is your question. Now, I'm trying to find a way to offer you more money on this. You're
trying to do a bonus?
Yeah, trying to find a way to give him a bonus here. Well, let's see where we go. All right. Here's your question. Are you ready? My grandfather loved these. My father loved these. And it turns out my wife's favorite candy as a kid was these Necco wafers.
Oh, yeah.
I can't believe that.
How boringly disgusting.
What a boring decision on my wife's part. Anyway, here we go. You know the Necco wafers, right?
Yeah, I've had them in past days.
All right, here we go. Necco wafers are the classic candy, just recently discontinued, but you can still get them. There are 8 flavors: lemon, lime, orange, clove, cinnamon, wintergreen, and the other 2 are black and brown. What are the flavors? Ready, go.
Licorice and chocolate.
You're going to go with licorice and chocolate. He knows his Necco wafers. We have a winner. Yeah.
Those are disgusting.
Davey, here's what's going to happen. If you keep lowering the amount, we're just going to make the questions easy. Although, I will tell you, Brian, you're one of the few that could actually answer that question. That wasn't really that easy.
No, it wasn't. Because
I ran a convenience store for 14 years.
Okay, well, there you go.
It was a hot seller, I guess.
Sometimes you get the perfect contestant.
Stewart's.
All right. Well,
your buddy from Stewart's.
Well, that's awesome. And there's nothing like that chocolate milkshake at Stewart's.
Yeah.
It is so
That's
good.
right.
A lot better than a chocolate Necco wafer, I'll tell you.
All right, Brian, we're going to give you $100 plus we'll give you the food and fun card. It's the all-in-one food and fun card worth $25, and it's good at Aquavino, at Taylor and the Cook. It's good at, of course...
I'll tell you, I went to Taylor and the Cook last week, and it was awesome.
Isn't it?
New place is
so good, the food.
Number one, the food is so good, and the place is beautiful, isn't it? Really is awesome. All right, well, Brian, you stand by. Davey's going to hook you up.
All right, thanks, buddy.
All right, thanks so much. So we walk away with a winner, of course, when it's at 100. But that was no easy question.
No, it was not. I would not have gotten that. I would have thought maybe
I guess black.
root beer?
I would have guessed
Blacklicious.
I would have
root
gone
beer.
with root beer, like bottle caps.
Yeah,
Remember the old
caps
bottle caps?
are good. Now bottle caps are delicious, but Necco wafers, I mean, put them right up there with circus peanuts and candy corn.
The circus peanuts, the orange ones,
Yeah.
those are pretty good too.
Ugh.
My grandfather used to have those hidden all over the house. My grandmother said my grandfather couldn't have candy because he was a diabetic.
Oh yeah, you got to be careful.
So he would hide candy everywhere in the house. There would be candy in the bedroom. There'd be candy in this drawer and that drawer. You'd find it everywhere. In like sport coat pockets in the closet. You reach in there, you'd find candy. Much after he had passed away, we found many. But
would last a while.
We later found out after he had passed away that he never was diabetic. My grandmother just didn't want him eating candy.
So don't kill your grandfather.
Yeah, and that's what we all thought. My God, do not let him have candy. His toes will fall off. He'll lose his sight. None of that was true. Okay, you have some comments. I want to start with YouTube. This is QAnon John.
QAnon John.
This apparently is the conversation about Kamala Harris. John, if only people read and understood the current laws and orders in place by bipartisan legislation. I'm not sure where we're going here. John, Kamala Harris is not black. Oh my God, please. She's black, Jamaican, and Indian.
Yeah.
You don't need to have that conversation. That didn't go well when Trump was having it. Don't have that. That's a ridiculous conversation. And John says, who voted to have her on the ticket? Remember, these are parties. They really can do whatever they want to do, political parties. And there are rules in place for when the top of the ticket steps down, and that's what ended up happening. I was surprised because I thought they wanted to get rid of her and bring in somebody else.
Well, now she's the best thing
that
ever.
That would have broken all the rules, and now they love their decision. Will they be loving it come November? Therein lies the question. Will they be loving it if she actually wins? Therein lies the question. What do you have?
We just have a few Facebook app comments here. This dude is the worst from Deeds in New Hartford. Listen how she said Kamala. I don't know what he's referring to here.
He doesn't like. Listen, Luke Perry is brilliant, and he does a tremendous job of looking at it from the sidelines without putting a political take on it. I can't get the words out today. All right, what else do you have?
This is from Fred and Clinton. Let's see here. For those who didn't already know or those who didn't watch, the Traverse Stake was won by Fierceness, owned by Ripoll Stable, Mike Ripoll, if I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Probably
I apologize
not.
if I'm not.
Probably not.
Fierceness was paid $9.80 to win. The winning time was 2 minutes and 1 second. A full 2.4 seconds off the stakes and track record set by Arrogate in 2016. Torpedo Anna was second by a neck. Sierra Leone, the post-time favorite, was third. A somewhat leisurely first half in 48.1 seconds made it difficult for closers like Sierra Leone to win.
I said if I was going to bet, I would have bet the long shot 20-1, the 5-horse.
Yeah.
And then the race goes off, and the 5-horse is in the lead the whole race till the final turn. And I think it finished like fourth or fifth, which made me say, I am so glad I don't bet horse racing.
Well, Scott took 8, and he won. So.
He did.
So the colors of Ripoll Stable, this is Fred and Clinton's comment going on. The colors of Ripoll Stable are now painted on the canoe in the pond at Saratoga Racecourse. They are the colors of the New York Mets. Mike Ripoll is a huge fan of the Mets.
Okay. More comments on Kamala Harris. And I think what he's talking about, the way Kamala, I think, is how is how Luke Perry pronounced her name. A lot of people are pronounced. I believe it's Kamala is the correct pronunciation, but who knows? But here's a comment. Donna, if you look up her father, he does not refer to himself as black or African American. He labels himself as Jamaican. News alert. Jamaicans are black.
Yes.
Okay, that's all.
In
fact, well, there's really no more that needs to be said.
Yeah,
Jamaicans are black.
Entertain this conversation.
Yeah. Not worth getting into, Donna.
Jay in Utica, fun fact, circus peanuts are banana flavor. Even more disgusting. Deeds in New Hartford, is Kamala Harris really purple or green? Okay.
Deeds, she's purple. Everyone knows that.
Look how moderate she is. She's purple.
When the Europeans came to the Americas, they brought purple with them, i.e. the dinosaur that became very, very popular. Barney, yeah.
How could you be more impartial than Barney?
Donna, one of my favorite old candies. I also like circus peanuts. I do too.
Disgusting.
The dots on paper, remember those?
Yeah, I mean, they're barely, because they're quite forgettable.
That was made by somebody, those were made by somebody who was like, okay, let's make it a little more difficult for the kids to actually eat the candy. And when they do finally get them, they're only going to get a little dot.
And they're going to have paper still on the dot.
And they're going to have paper sometimes stuck on the dot.
Yeah.
Yeah. But she goes on. Halloween wax. Oh, like the teeth, the wax teeth.
Oh, yeah.
Or the ones that were bottles where they had juice in them.
Yeah.
You remember that? And don't forget candy cigarettes and bubblegum cigars. Do they still sell them?
Bubblegum cigars are good.
I think they do.
used to have them at Water Safari.
All right.
Wayne, my horse did not win, but can you tell me how did Scott from Kirkville's picks turn out? And you said that he did well this weekend.
Yeah, how much did he win?
He won on the. Let's see. I was up there at 4:00, and He was up big on before I got there.
What is big? When you say he's up big,
Well, he was up. He was up. That's all he said, that he was up.
he didn't tell you how big was.
No.
100,000, 10,000?
He was up. That's all he said. He was up.
Okay.
But his horse, he picked the 8th horse, Wayne, and he did, and he won.
Mike is asking, was your grandfather a squirrel? I don't understand that. Oh, hiding and storing all the candy. Okay. All right. Let's see. Today, I learned joy was the hallmark of the Nazi Party. These people can't find the bottom, and they start in the shallow end. I have never heard that before.
I haven't either.
I mean, I have watched every World War II, Hitler, the making of Hitler, how Hitler came to power. I love those old time documentaries. Never do I ever remember the platform of the Nazi Party being joy, but maybe it was. Maybe it was. I have a feeling that's not where the Democrats are going, but maybe I'm out on a limb. Wayne, the Necco wafers are like sidewalk chalk.
I think I'd rather eat sidewalk chalk.
Yeah. All right. Anything else? Because I'm running out of time.
No, I don't have anything else.
I have a few more that we'll get to
left.
next hour. Bill Morehouse, hard to watch the Mets sometimes. There's got to be somebody better than Diaz. And I am in agreement
You
there.
want Clay Holmes? We can give him to you.
We'll keep Diaz. When Diaz is on, he's amazing. But then, something like yesterday happens. You just knew it was going to happen. All right, got a break. News is coming up next at 8 o'clock.
Hey, I'm going to let you in on a little wireless hack that can cut your cell phone bill in half every single month. Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile, they want you to believe that you need unlimited data so they can overcharge you. Well, here's the fact. Most of you are buying way more data than you'll ever need. Now, Pure Talk, my cell phone company, only charges you for data that you actually need. For example, for $25 a month, you can get unlimited talk, unlimited text, and 5 gigs of data plus mobile hotspot. $25. And do you know what you can do with 5 gigs of data? Well, you can browse the internet for 135 hours, stream 1,000 songs, and watch 10 hours of video. Stop overpaying for wireless. Get 5G coverage with Pure Talk. Just dial pound 250, say the keyword save now. Check in with one of Pure Talk's U.S. customer service team members. No contract to sign, no activation fee, and you can even keep your phone and your phone number. Pound 250, keyword save now. Do it now. You save an additional 50% off your first month from Pure Talk.
Summer congestion got you down? Whether it's allergies or a summer cold, being congested can change your whole day. You feel tired and run down like you're missing out on summer fun. At Navage, we're here to make breathing easy, easier. Navage uses patented gentle suction technology to help clear out allergens, mucus, dust, and germs without drugs. In as fast as 30 seconds, you'll be on your way to a better day. Look for Navage in brand new packaging. Navage, fresh new look, same great product.
Did you know your life insurance is an asset you can sell? I'm Jay Jackson, CEO of Abacus Life. For almost 20 years, Abacus has been purchasing life insurance policies from seniors just like you. And at abacuspays.com, we've created a free policy value calculator so you can find out the worth of your policy in just seconds. There are no fees and no obligations. Get real value from your life insurance when you need it with Abacus. Learn more at abacuspays.com.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome, W295EI, WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, a Town Square media station.
An Israeli Navy soldier is killed. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News. 3 Hezbollah fighters are reported to have died in Israeli airstrikes, destroying thousands of rocket launchers. There's a heavy exchange of fire between Israel and Hezbollah militants in Lebanon, as the Biden administration's top military officer is in Israel. Ceasefire talks continue to end the war being fought against Hamas in Gaza to the south.
High-level talks have ended in Cairo, Egypt, with both Israel and Hamas blaming the other for a lack of agreement. A U.S. official says lower-level talks will continue, though. This after the Lebanon-based Islamist group Hezbollah launched what it says were 320 rockets and missiles at Israel's north. Israeli jets had been pounding Hezbollah positions in an attempt to thwart an even larger attack. Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah claimed its attack was a response to the killing of a top commander last month, but had been delayed to give Gaza peace talks a chance. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
Vice President Kamala Harris and her running mate, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, will kick off a bus tour through southern Georgia this week, finishing with a rally in Savannah. No interviews on her schedule so far. She hasn't given one since she was tapped to be the Democrats' presidential pick more than a month ago. And the vice president's been raking in the cash, however, $540 million since President Biden dropped out $82 million during last week's convention. Republican House Speaker Mike Johnson, with reporters in Minneapolis, says the convention shows differences between the Republican and Democratic presidential tickets couldn't be more clear.
This is about facts over fantasy. It's about record over rhetoric. Kamala Harris and Tim Walz's records are absolutely horrible.
Former President Trump will be in Michigan today to speak to thousands of troops at the National Guard's annual meeting after laying a wreath at Arlington National Cemetery, marking 3 years since the death of 13 Americans in an attack at Kabul airport in Afghanistan. America's listening to Fox News.
Progressive presents 10 things on a contractor's to-do list that are harder than getting a commercial auto insurance quote. Bidding a new client, giving an accurate estimate, finding affordable materials, getting a client to pay you for work you already did, getting a client to pay you, period, securing permits and workers and tools, getting those workers and tools to work together, and finding the perfect pair of overalls. Pockets, baby. But the easiest thing on a small business owner's to-do list? Seeing if you can save on commercial auto insurance. Get a quote in as little as 7 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Coverage subject to policy terms and conditions.
On August 30th, Reagan returns to office.
We are the greatest country in the world, and we have just forgotten it.
You can run from a bully for so long, but after a while, you're going to have to stand up to him. I am about to start the biggest war of this century.
You told me you wanted to make a difference in this world.
What would you have me do?
I want you to fight!
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall!
Reagan in theaters Friday, August 30th. Rated PG-13. May not be suitable for children under 13.
Members of a congressional task force investigating the Trump assassination attempt will be in Butler, Pennsylvania today.
The bipartisan task force investigating the assassination attempt on former President Trump will visit the site in Pennsylvania where the shooting took place. More than 10 House members will meet with officials and get an on-site tour. Back in D.C., a counterforum will take place involving a group of lawmakers not included on the task force. Two of them, combat veterans Corey Mills of Florida and Eli Crane of Arizona, both Republicans, lobbied to be on the task force and have expressed their frustrations with not being selected. In Washington, Ryan Schmelz, Fox News.
It was 3 years ago today that 13 American service members were killed in a suicide bombing attack at Abbey Gate in Afghanistan at the airport in Kabul during the American military withdrawal. Around 170 Afghan civilians were also reported to have been killed.
Ohio Republican Congressman Mike Turner, the chairman of the House Intelligence Committee, discussed the aftermath of the withdrawal with the Fox News Rundown podcast.
We know that the United States and our Western allies are more at risk today because there are terrorist groups and organizations that are based in Afghanistan that are plotting attacks against Americans.
Turner adds that with the Taliban now back in control of Afghanistan, the country is once again a major security concern.
It continues to pose the threat that it did before 9/11, which is why America was there to begin with, to prevent that from happening.
Kevin Uretsky, Fox News.
Vice President Kamala Harris has said that she was the last person in the room with President Biden when he made the decision to complete the Afghanistan withdrawal, and some Republicans say she's partly to blame then for the way it was handled. At least 3 people are reported killed in a wave of drone and missile attacks throughout Ukraine, forcing widespread power outages. Ukraine's government says more than half the regions of the country were targeted. Russia, meantime, reports 4 people injured in Ukrainian drone attacks in Russia. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News.
Good morning, WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time, 8:05. I'm Andrew Derminio. 62 degrees under sunny skies. Your full weather forecast is coming up. Defense attorneys for murder suspect Jeremy Kirsch have requested he undergo a competency evaluation following a brief appearance in Marcy Town Court on Friday. According to Oneida County District Attorney's Office, 45-year-old Kirsch of Camden appeared before the town justice Friday afternoon in Marcy to schedule a felony hearing on 1 count of second-degree murder. Prosecutors say Kirsch's defense attorneys requested a competency evaluation to determine if Kirsch understands the charge against him and to see if he can assist with his own defense. The case was adjourned to November. The two candidates competing to represent the 22nd Congressional District will be taking part in 4 debates. The debates between incumbent Republican Congressman Brandon Williams and Democrat State Senator John Mannion are on October 1st, October 8th, October 22nd, and in the last week of October. The 22nd District covers all of Madison and Onondaga counties, plus parts of Cortland, Cayuga, and Oneida counties. Election Day is Tuesday, November 5th. The Fayetteville Manlius Central School District is mourning the loss of a popular teacher. On Saturday, 48-year-old David Engel was driving on East Seneca Turnpike in Manlius when he lost control of his vehicle, which hit several telephone poles before rolling over. Engel, who taught English and theater, was brought to Upstate University Hospital, where he later passed away. The cause of the accident is still under investigation. The State Division of Consumer Protection is again issuing a scam warning, this time for older New Yorkers. The agency says folks in that age group are being targeted with reverse mortgage, money moving, and investment scams. Experts say if something sounds too good to be true, it likely is, and to never rush into any major financial decision. Also, don't give out your Social Security number or banking information to someone who's unknown. More tips can be found on the Division of Consumer Protection website. The Grammy Award-winning group TLC is planning to reschedule a show that was supposed to happen in Syracuse. The group was set to take the stage at the New York State Fair on Friday night, but the concert ended up being postponed due to a medical issue suffered by Tyone Watkins, also known as T-Boz. It was revealed Watkins had an abdominal blockage that needed immediate treatment. No new date for the show has been announced just yet. And
I don't believe the opening act played either. Belly Pain. I'm pretty sure he didn't perform.
No, he did not.
Nope.
Sports Illustrated is predicting the Detroit Lions will win Super Bowl 59 despite the Lions not playing for an NFL title since 1957 when they beat the Browns. The Lions have raised expectations among fans with their NFC North Division championship last year and their playoff run that ended with the NFC Championship game loss to San Francisco. We shall see. And the second largest diamond ever found was dug up this weekend in Botswana. The 2,492 carat stone was pulled out of the Caraway mine by Canadian company Lucara Diamond. Its size would make it the second largest diamond found behind the 3,106 carat Cullinan diamond discovered in South Africa in 1905. No word on the value of that diamond.
How would you sell that? Like, if you were to find it in your backyard, say.
I would sell to the highest bidder.
What are we gonna? How do I get rid of this? Who's gonna? You go over to Lennon's. You're like, hey, here, let me
help me out.
Let me bring it in. It's in a wheelbarrow. I'll bring it in, and you know what? What can you give me for it?
If you saw the video of, I think it was the president of Botswana or some political official there, his eyes just went popped right out of his head. They put it in front of him. Yeah.
Well, you'd be like, wait, that's ours.
That's mine.
Yeah.
Mine personally. Mm-hmm. It is 8:09. Your weather forecast is brought to you by the new destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. For today, expect sunny skies with a slight chance of rain and thunderstorms. We'll see a high in the mid-80s. Mostly clear overnight with a low around 60. Then tomorrow, sunny skies with a high in the mid-80s. Right now, we're at 62 degrees under mostly sunny skies at 8:09. Sports brought to you by IBEW NECA 43, local contractors. Well, the Yankees got it done. They are just the team that continues to amaze. They're either doing really well and scoring double-digit runs or losing by several runs. But in this case, yesterday, it was a final score of 10-3, where a game that saw 5 home runs, 2 from Aaron Judge. He hit his 50th and his 51st. And there was another game where Soto, Judge, and Giancarlo Stanton had back-to-back home runs. So hopefully we see more of that Yankees team and less of the one on Saturday. Meanwhile, the Mets got a loss. They split 4, winning 2 games against the Padres over the weekend. Yesterday's game, they fell 3-2 in the finale at Petco Park. Edwin Diaz was charged with the loss after allowing a walk-off home run in the bottom of the 9th. J.D. Martinez and Mark Vientos each went deep with a solo shot. New York is 2.5 games back of the final NL wildcard spot at 68 and 63. They'll visit the Diamondbacks for a 3-game set that begins tomorrow night at Chase Field. The first week of the college football season is right around the corner, even though there were games this past weekend. Rutgers will open the year at home when the Scarlet Knights host the Howard Bison Thursday night at SHI Stadium. And the Syracuse Orange begin their season at home when the Orange hosts the Ohio Bobcats Saturday afternoon from the JMA Wireless Dome. Davey will be in attendance for that game.
What do we know about the Ohio Bobcats?
Yes.
What do we know about them?
All I know is that they got 4 returning players from last year.
Okay.
It's all kind of
All right.
all new.
All right.
But
Should be a rather easy game for Syracuse.
You say easy. I don't know.
I'm just saying
they
it
don't
should
come
be.
easy.
However, the next week is going to be tough. That's Georgia Tech.
Yep. They're riding high off the upset of Florida State.
There are those out there predicting the Syracuse team
Florida State
could go to the playoffs.
I think they could.
I'm just saying.
I don't.
And then some final NFL news here. Baltimore Ravens offensive line coach Joe Delisandres has died. The team announced he was 70 years old. He had been hospitalized in the last 2 weeks with an illness that was going to require treatment for a lengthy period of time. He had been in the position with the Ravens since 2017. Baltimore hired George Warhop as its offensive line coach on August 14th when the team announced that Delisandres would be away from the team. WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM news time is 8:13.
All right, we have a lot to get to this hour. We're going to speak with Oneida County District Attorney Todd Carville on the latest in the murder of Elizabeth Girling. And what is all of this talk of, running through Rome naked and dropping gifts off to people?
And what does a competency
What
test
do we
mean?
Tanya Power is coming up this hour. This week, Saturn, Jupiter, and Mars can be seen with the naked eye.
Speaking of naked.
And did you see the forecast? We were looking at temperatures all week long in the 80s. Now it's mid-70s. We'll have a few days through Wednesday in the 80s, and then we'll go to the mid-70s. It's almost like the switch is being turned, and we're heading into the fall season. And then Ed Welch, Vehicle for Visions, the car show over the weekend, big success. We'll talk about what they're doing there. And I'll try to squeeze out a few opinion questions on gas prices and travel.
We'll see what we can get.
I know that's a AAA question, but, we still see Ed Welch as a Welch of knowledge. A wealth of knowledge. We'll break. Coming right back at WIBX.
Do you know what time of year it is? It's our annual 50% off window installation sale at New York Sash.
Now through Monday, you can get 50% off installation of any new window.
Need 1 new window? 50% off installation. 2 new windows? 50% off installation. 10 new windows? 50% off installation.
Choose from double hung, slider, bay, and more. Whatever window you need, we've got it all. All our windows are 50% off installation, and with our windows, you always get energy efficiency, long-lasting beauty, and lifetime warranties.
And did we mention 50% off installation right now?
Plus, with New York Sash, you get a stress-free, hassle-free, headache-free experience because our installers are true certified craftsmen. We never use subcontractors.
So take advantage of our 50% off new window installation. It happens once a year, and it's happening now.
But the sale ends Monday, so drop by our showroom at 349 Oriskany Boulevard in Whitesboro or visit us at NewYorkSash.com.
Hey, I'm going to let you in on a wireless hack that can cut your cell phone bill in half. Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile, they want you to think that unlimited data is fantastic. Well, the fact is, it's not. Pure Talk, my cell phone company, only charges you for data that you need. For just $25 a month, you get unlimited talk, unlimited text, 5 gigs of data, plus mobile hotspot. Just dial pound 250, say the keyword save now, and do it now. You'll save an additional 50% off your first month. Save money, same service with Pure Talk.
As fall approaches, you have a lot to prepare for. Back to school, sporting events, family gatherings, and staying on top of your health. The virus that causes COVID-19 continues to evolve. So this fall, no matter what you're prepping for, you can prioritize your family's health and make a game plan for COVID-19 vaccination. Ask your doctor or pharmacist to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Zero Foxtrot isn't just a brand, it's a way of life. Founded and operated by veterans, Zero Foxtrot's unique apparel and gear echoes the grit of the warrior culture. Zero Foxtrot dedicates itself to producing content, honoring the sacrifices of forgotten heroes of the past, and connecting history to the present. Embark on a journey with Zero Foxtrot today at zerofoxtrot.com. It's not merely our products, it's about the ethos that we embody. Rugged, resilient, and timeless.
We all like convenience, right? ATMs, takeout food, drive-through pharmacies. Now, Bremer's is making it just as convenient to enjoy your favorite wines and spirits with Bremer's to go. It's simple. Place your order at bremerswineandliquor.com or save $5 on your first order with our mobile app. Order during store hours for pickup within an hour. Hey, you can even call us when you get to the store and we'll bring your order right out and load it in the car for you. Now that's convenience. Maybe you're planning a party. Maybe you want to stock up on your favorite wines, or you just want to save time when you're out and about. Whatever the reason, at Bremer's, we're all about incredible customer service. So when you're on the go, we are too. Order at bremerswineandliquor.com or save $5 with our mobile app. Order during store hours for pickup within an hour. It's Bremer's to go, available 7 days a week from Bremer's Wine and Liquor on Commercial Drive in New Hartford.
Mattress Express's Labor Day sale is here. Take up to 60 months to pay for anything in the store with no money down for qualified customers. Save up to $700 on Tempur-Pedic, $1,000 on Purple, $700 on Stearns & Foster, and $1,350 on Puffy.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
No, now I don't want to do it. I'm not going to do it now, Andrew.
Not going to do it. Not going
Not
to do
gonna
it.
do it. All right, I want to talk about this new Reagan movie. I'm very nervous about it because it's like when you're such an iconic figure as Ronald Reagan,
Yeah.
or JFK.
Yes.
It's hard to find somebody who can. You need to find someone who is willing, who can. The audience can sit there and somehow
believably see
make
them.
that move to say,
Yeah.
okay, somehow he's done it. I believe this is Reagan. And otherwise, you're talking about just too soon. I'm assuming back when they tried to do movies about Lincoln, it was like that, right?
Yeah, bro.
But you could put a stovetop hat on his head; it'd be perfectly fine. Now it took years and hundred years plus to be able to get there, and then now we can do Lincoln. But
Daniel Day-Lewis looked exactly like Lincoln would have. I'm pretty sure.
But if you were back
He lived
then,
that life.
if you were back then, you're like, I can tell by the way he wears that stovetop hat, stovepipe hat, whatever it is.
Is that what it's called?
I don't know what it's called. So I'm struggling. I think I struggled with the JFK movie.
With Oliver Stone? You mean the one that he made?
Yeah, it's hard. Obviously, I've not seen it yet, but I will see it. But I know it's going to be hard to get there.
Do you want to know the truth? I don't care to watch many movies anymore. I don't watch new movies that come out. I don't have any interest in it. I think the movie industry's terrible. I mean, I watch a lot of series. You
do, yeah.
Like Netflix series or series that I may not have seen before that are on Netflix now, but I don't really have any interest in seeing
I watched
new
a
movies.
really good movie the other night.
Mm-hmm.
Can't remember, though. Can't remember.
It was so memorable.
All right. So along this same line, there is going to be a movie about. It's going to be a biopic. That's what it's called, right?
Yeah.
Not biopic.
Yeah, biopic.
A biopic on the legend John Madden.
No, God! No, God, please,
No. Yes.
I saw this actually, and who is going to be playing him?
You're not going to believe it.
I saw it somewhere, but it's already.
You're not going
to.
You're going to be like, well, you think the Reagan movie was tough. You think the JFK movie was tough. This, I don't know how we get there on this.
I think I know who's playing him.
Who's playing him?
Nicolas Cage.
You're right.
Oh my God!
They should have got Frank Caliendo.
How is Nicolas Cage going to play John Madden?
They should have got Frank Caliendo.
Yeah.
You mean Frank Caliendo?
It's a D, not a T.
Sorry.
Or an N. But still, he's good. He's good, right?
But I don't picture Nicolas Cage playing John Madden.
Like, how does he get that job? I mean, of
don't
all
know.
the people that could, I mean,
I do not know.
I seen pictures of him over the weekend. He's putting weight on to portray John Madden for
Well,
the
he's
role.
gonna
is Nicolas
put a lot of
Cage
weight on.
like a Daniel Day-Lewis type where they kind of become the role that they're going to play? Like, what's it, method acting or whatever?
He's like that.
Yeah.
He'll live as
So he was a
John
vampire
Madden.
when he was the vampire, and
So
he's going to have a turducken, and he's going to,
he loves Elvis. He's a huge Elvis fan.
Yes, he does.
And I think he wanted to play Elvis. Did he ever play Elvis?
He should have.
Yeah.
Where was that up?
Instead,
that would have made sense.
Instead, he
That
turned around and married Elvis's daughter, and now I'm Elvis.
That's right, he did.
It looks like Nicolas Cage might be putting on some weight in the near future. Cage has reportedly agreed to take on the role of Hall of Fame football coach, broadcaster, and video game icon John Madden in an upcoming biopic called The Biopic About John Madden.
That's the title of it.
Director David O. Russell confirmed the casting in a statement, calling Cage one of our greatest and most original actors. At one point, Will Ferrell was leading the way to getting the role. But they've gone with Nicolas Cage. I don't know how that's going to work out. But then again, who's the guy that played the whale in the movie The Whale?
Well,
he put
Brendan
on a
Fraser.
ton of weight, Brendan Fraser.
And I
did.
think that was also a fat suit.
I don't think so. I think he put on the weight.
I mean, that's a 600-pound person.
Well, it had to be some of it.
Yeah, so he may have put on weight.
He did. He
to
put
show
on
the
a lot of
face.
weight, and he had to lose it afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he had to. They could have been like, "You can stay fat if you want," but he's like, "No, I think I'm going to lose the weight."
Imagine that must be, if you had all the resources of a Hollywood actor to be able to, have a personal chef and trainer and prepare all your meals for you, and you just have to do what they say. It'd probably be fun to put the weight on. You just eat what you want. Like I gotta gain weight.
They're saying Cage is going to have to be in a fat suit. He's not putting on 300 pounds, but they do say he's gaining weight. Mike this morning says, yes, one of the main tenets of the Nazi Party was joy. They got a lot of joy out of killing people that weren't like them.
Oh my God!
And they need to figure out a way to bring John Candy back to life. John Candy could have played John Madden.
Yeah,
I agree. Completely agree.
I mean, they both have the same first name. They like to eat.
That's right.
It would have made great sense.
Would have been easy.
Yeah.
It would have been easy. If you're following along on this horrific story from last week, the homicide of Elizabeth Gerling, and then we look at the man who is being charged, the boyfriend, in her strangulation death, and we're hearing all of these stories in the timeline. Crazy things like driving around with a camper connected to a truck.
After the alleged murder happened, he allegedly unloaded the trailer or the RV
out in the middle of nowhere,
in the camper in somebody's front yard.
In their front yard, and said it's a gift.
Well, he gifted. I didn't hear that part of it.
There was something about a gift. I was watching a report on KTV from Friday night, and he did not know the people. So, and then running around naked in Rome, and
there was
all
a suspicious person complaint in Oriskany, just a day before the alleged murder took place too. And
then potentially a fish concert. On the line right now is the District Attorney Todd Carville. Todd, good morning.
Good morning, Bill. Good morning, Andrew.
Good morning.
So obviously, we're painting a picture here of somebody who's off the rails. Or are they? I was reading a post on Facebook. Obviously, it was a family member claiming this is all an act. What do you guys know, and can you walk us through what's about to happen?
So what I can do, I try to stay away from facts while the case is pending because I don't want to.
I understand. Yep.
Sully a jury. But what I can tell you is, at this point, a 7:30 exam has been ordered by the court. What that does is 2 psychiatric examiners interview the defendant and determine whether or not he lacks the capacity to understand the charges against him and assist in his defense. And so that's the first step of this. If they both agree that he does lack capacity, then he could be held for up to 90 days pending a grand jury indictment. And if they feel that he does not lack the capacity and he can understand the charges against him, then the matter will proceed.
Now, if go ahead, I'm sorry.
Well, so that's separate and apart from a defense of lack of culpability due to mental disease or defect.
So, if in
okay,
fact
so that's important. That is important. So, there is a difference between someone who uses lack of competency as a defense versus someone who is deemed incapable of sitting through a trial.
Correct. So again, so that's the first stage, and obviously they can't sit and be held responsible in court until they have the capacity to do so, and then from there, then a defense of lack of culpability from the conduct can be had in court.
All right.
So, in the event that this hearing that the defense has requested and that Mr. Kirsch will undergo, if that comes back that he is not deemed competent, you say there's the 90-day waiting period, well then after that 90 days, you'll be able to revisit a possible trial, or will there be a different punishment issued?
So what would happen in the meantime is the case would be brought before a grand jury, and if there's a indictment on a felony, then what occurs is that, if they still lack capacity, they can be retained for up to a year in a mental health hospital. And if they become competent during that time frame, then they face the charges. If they don't, then after that year, another hearing is held for retention up to 2 years, and that continues for 2/3 of the maximum of the sentence for the highest felony that is charged in an indictment.
It's all very complex.
It certainly is. We don't want to forget it by any means. The victim, Elizabeth Gerling, I believe her funeral services are being held today. There will be a vigil tonight. Just a shock for this community. It's going to be very difficult for students, parents, teachers, and staff at Utica. It obviously is just terrible. What about have you been able to put together this timeline? We're hearing stories of a gift being left somewhere, a camper being dropped off, running around town nude. What timeline do you have currently?
So, we are familiar with the entirety of the timeline that you're referring to. What we will do is, assess that and how that plays into ultimately the charge against him, and if there is a defense raised in the future, those will be factors that we take into consideration in making an ultimate determination as to whether or not during the commission of this act, whether or not the individual lacked capacity to appreciate the conduct that he was committing.
How does the court handle a situation of drugs? So there's one of these stories that's out there. There was a Fish concert, and maybe the implication that some hallucinogenic drugs may have been taken, which could have contributed to what happened. How does the court look at that? I mean, you could use the same argument that you had so much to drink that the vehicle that you drove and killed someone with, it wasn't your fault because you were under the influence and it affected you differently than you expected. How does the court look at drugs in a situation like this?
Yeah, so the voluntary intoxication is a condition that if you intentionally take substances and they cause a mind-altering effect, it changes our ability to prove intent.
Right.
It makes it more reckless. So it could potentially take a murder charge to a manslaughter in the second-degree charge because it's reckless behavior that was caused by voluntary intoxication. So those are factors that weigh in, and ultimately, if the mental disease or defect is a defense that the defense would like to pursue, in those cases, we request of the court that we have a doctor from our position that would interview the defendant and make determinations as to whether or not the individual did suffer from a mental disease or defect.
Okay.
And currently, your office has only charged Mr. Kirsch with second-degree murder. Do you feel that there may be additional charges, or is that something you're exploring in this case?
Certainly. We always, look at what the charging agency charged, and then we look at all the facts before pursuing before a grand jury, and then ask the grand jury to consider the charges that we feel are appropriate based on all the evidence that's presented to them.
And then in a case like this, is it automatic to draw blood for a toxicology report?
Are you talking about the defendant?
I'm talking about the defendant.
It's not always the case, but we have taken those things into consideration.
Okay, all right. It is interesting how we, the public, you hear these stories and you automatically think that the DA's office is not thinking the very same thing that we're thinking, or at the very least considering it. And we probably should give you the benefit of the doubt.
I would appreciate that.
Right.
Yes, no, we try to take into account all factors, things that are admissible and aren't. Certainly, we make those determinations, but we try to think of everything, both before and after, to make sure the investigation is as complete as can be.
And I'm sure you've seen the Facebook message. There were a couple of them from the victim's son saying this is all an act. This guy's not crazy.
Again, that's always going to, there's going to be both sides of that fence, and we will have the experts take a look and make a determination from there.
I appreciate you making your way through our questions.
Yes.
And
we weren't trying to trick you, we promise.
Well, if that was tricking, we're really not good.
Yeah, we stink.
Todd, thank you as always. We appreciate it.
Thank you too.
All right, have a great day.
Take care.
A sad day. In this case, the victim today, a funeral proceeding will be held today.
Yes.
And a vigil will go on tonight. And it's just, there is a terrible situation and a victim in this case. Very sad. Let me move on to Tanya J. Powers, completely different topic. And if you, we're going to have some clear skies this week. You might be able to see some of this. This week, Saturn, Jupiter, and Mars will be visible, and you won't even need a telescope.
No.
Tanya J. Powers on the line right now. Good morning, Tanya. What do we know about this?
Hey, good morning. Well, really quickly, I can tell you that the planet parade, so to speak, is going to have 6 planets in alignment. This is one of those things where some of them gather on one side of the sun at the same time. That's what this is, basically. You're going to have Mercury, Mars, Jupiter, Uranus, Neptune, and Saturn are all going to align in the sky. You will actually be able to see Mercury, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn with the naked eye. Mercury is going to be a little harder to spot, and the rest are going to need either a telescope or high-powered binoculars.
Okay. And I'm assuming you, as you're looking in the sky, how are you able to differentiate?
Well, I'm glad you asked that, because unless you're better at looking at stars and understanding them than I am, you might benefit from an app that actually helps you tell you what you're looking at. Yeah, there's an app called Sky Tonight. It's a free app, and it makes it easier to identify celestial objects. So what you do is you open the app and you point it at the sky, and it will tell you what you're looking at. The names of the planets, Well, there you can see, where they are in
It
alignment.
is kind of cool. Yeah.
One
it is kind of cool.
One of the apps actually plays music, instrumental music in the background as you're looking. It's there's some good apps out there. So there it is. Yep, that's definitely Saturn right there.
The International Space Station actually moves fairly quickly, and sometimes you can see that in rotation. And if you look really closely, you can see the missing astronauts.
That's usually very
or the stranded ones.
Very bright in the sky. Tanya, I know you're tight for time. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you.
Have a great day, Tanya. Jay Powers from Fox News.
She's like, get me off this program.
Get me away from these guys. Yes. No,
Tanya Powers.
That's not Saturn. That's Jupiter. No, I'm pretty sure it's Saturn.
That's Uranus.
I think it's Mars. And not Uranus.
We should break.
We'll break, and it is 8:36 at WIBX.
Summer is here, and at Steve Pawnee Chevrolet in Herkimer, we're celebrating with unbeatable offers on trucks and SUVs perfect for your summer adventures. Check out the 2024 Trailblazer LS with the convenience package and remote start. Lease it now for just $279 a month. Or if you're ready to take on any terrain, drive away in the 2024 Equinox LS all-wheel drive Midnight Edition. Leased for only $349 a month. That's right. Both leases are for 3 years with 10,000 miles per year. Just $1,000 down payment plus all taxes and fees and your first payment due on delivery. But remember, you must qualify for top-tier credit through GM Financial and have a current lease in your household. Hurry in. These sizzling summer deals end August 31st. See why it's always easy to do business at Steve Pawnee Chevrolet in Herkimer or online at StevePawneeChevy.com. Together, let's drive Steve Pawnee Chevrolet, where summer drives and unbeatable deals come together.
Do not buy a mattress at the New York State Fair from some out-of-town dealer. Get your quote at the fair, bring it to any Mattress Express. We'll meet or beat any price from the New York State Fair on the same or comparable mattress. You'll get it delivered quickly and have local service when the out-of-town guys are gone.
Looking to make your business stand out? At Seasonal Sports, we design eye-catching custom signs that turn heads and attract customers. From vibrant banners and sleek storefront signs to custom vehicle wraps, laser engraving, embroidery, screen printing, and more, Seasonal Sports has got you covered. Let Fred and Chrissy Marriott bring your vision to life with top quality materials and cutting-edge design. Seasonal Sports is your one-stop shop for all your graphic needs. Seasonal Sports, 215 Oriskany Boulevard in Whitesboro, and online at seasonalsports1983.com, where your business shines bright.
Hey, if you have ugly yellow toe fungus, you got to hear about the secret 2-minute trick that I found for my husband. It works from both the inside and the outside. Thousands of people are using it to get rid of their toe fungus. You can check it out at crystalflesh.com. Jake started off with a small spot on his big toe and then it spread and got really bad. His toes were nasty. It was so embarrassing. He was afraid to take his socks off. He hid his yellow and crumbly toes from everyone. He tried everything to get rid of it. Nothing helped. And then we found crystalflesh.com. It was the only thing that worked. In just a few weeks, his toes looked amazing. He's now walking around barefoot again. You guys need to try this. I'm telling you, this stuff is different. It's not sold in stores, but go check it out at crystalflesh.com. They'll even let you try it risk-free so you have nothing to lose. But whatever you do, don't let it get worse. You don't have to live with this anymore. Go check it out now. Just click over to crystalflesh.com.
Do you know what time of year it is? It's our annual 50% off window installation sale at New York Sash.
Now through Monday, you can get 50% off installation of any new window.
Need 1 new window? 50% off installation. 2 new windows? 50% off installation. 10 new windows? 50% off installation.
Choose from double hung, slider, bay, and more. Whatever window you need, we've got it all. All our windows are 50% off installation, and with our windows, you always get energy efficiency, long-lasting beauty, and lifetime warranties.
And did we mention 50% off installation right now?
Plus, with New York Sash, you get a stress-free, hassle-free, headache-free experience because our installers are true certified craftsmen. We never use subcontractors.
So take advantage of our 50% off new window installation. It happens once a year and it's happening now.
But the sale ends Monday, so drop by our showroom at 349 Oriskany Boulevard in Whitesboro or visit us at NewYorkSash.com.
Hey, River Hills Properties is the #1 independent real estate agency in the area. And you can see their program sold in upstate New York on TV. Or this week You today could pick it up on YouTube. It's there, episode 19 of Sold in Upstate New York. It's a real estate show, home improvement, and so much more. This week, they get into the new rule changes that involve commissions, etc., when it comes to people purchasing and selling a home. If you're thinking about listing your home, why wouldn't you list with River Hills? They are with you every step of the way, every step of the process, from the beginning till the very end. You know that every time your house is shown, you're not having people wander through your home without representation. Your listing agent is there every time the house is shown. Offices in Barneville, Little Falls, in Utica, Rome. It's River Hills Properties, LLC.com. Call 315-896-1009. Nobody sells homes like River Hills Properties.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
Also, I should say, the pumpkin latte is back. It never went anywhere at Daylight Donuts. All year long, you can get that pumpkin spice. And, of course, the matcha green tea latte. Give it a try at Daylight Donuts. Espresso lattes, just regular coffee. It isn't regular. It's special. It's Daylight Donuts. Everything from breakfast sandwiches to donuts and bagels and the drive-thru. Lightning fast. Daylight Donuts in New Hartford.
So a little bit of a history lesson from Roger here this morning, sending me an image of a Google search. The top hat that Lincoln wore was made of beaver fur and was a popular style of hat in the 19th century. It was known as a stovepipe hat because of its tall cylindrical shape.
So, yeah. So all you needed was a good stovepipe hat and a beaver pelt, and you'd be like, oh my God, it's Lincoln.
Yeah.
Unlike Reagan and Kennedy, it's not easy to find somebody
looking like Lincoln.
You'd be looking like Lincoln.
You'd be looking like Lincoln.
What happens when you sleep 6 hours a night or less? How many hours do you think?
Wake up tired.
How many hours do you think you get?
Probably 5 to 6 every night.
Well, that's apparently not good, according to Men's Health magazine.
Okay.
Now more than ever, the importance of sleep, it's a very big deal. Ideally, they say you should be getting 7 to 9 hours a night.
Wow. Okay. Well, I'll try. I'll definitely try. How about you?
You're going to sleep in?
Yeah. If that's what I need to do, yeah, sure.
I probably am more like 4 or 5, if lucky. Yeah. How many? What do you get, Dave? You go to bed early, unless the ladies are around. Then you're
ladies
up.
of the night.
Then you're up all night long.
Well, let me tell you something.
Okay.
If I go to sleep like at 8 o'clock,
yeah,
I'm up at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, ready to go, and then I try to go back to sleep to come back here, but
it doesn't
I have
work.
Trouble.
Yeah,
Davey in the night, exchanging glances.
So Davey needs a longer.
Yeah, he can't.
A shorter amount. He's got to go to bed late.
Well, he naturally wakes up and can't go back to sleep. Now that's a problem.
Men's Health.
Some people have.
Men's Health magazine saying you should get nearly 9 hours of sleep every night, and if not, you may be having some issues. Like, for instance, long-term effects of sleep debt include being irritable. Don't look at me like that.
9 hours. How nice that must be.
Being anxious.
Who has the luxury of 9 hours of sleep?
Or depressed. I'm so sorry I yelled at you. Now I'm depressed over it. A shortened attention span, worsening judgment and reaction skills, the risk of dementia, and the possibility of high blood pressure and cardiovascular disease. They say, lose your nap habit, go to bed once and for all, and sleep.
I don't ever nap. Very
I
rarely.
am nowhere near. I'm probably closer to 4 to 5 per night. And that's the best I can do.
Well, because you stay up late working or watching programs.
Yeah.
And you're doing all that stuff.
Okay. What is your problem over there? You're writing something for me.
Well, I was just going to tell you I've got a comment from Lance and Lee.
Okay. Do that quickly and I'll go to the phones.
This is from Lance and Lee. Good morning, Lance. The district attorney seemed awfully tight-lipped considering Sheriff Mayshield's interview on WKTV put a lot of information about the case out there. I find it interesting the sheriff's department had interacted with the defendant the day before the death of the principal. I wonder why there wasn't enough to commit him that day, since he was acting very strange according to what the sheriff said. You don't have to believe me. Watch the interview for yourself on the WKTV website.
Here's what I would say to that without doing any defending of anybody. The reality is, if the law enforcement were to put people in a psych unit every time they came across somebody who was acting a little weird, we wouldn't have enough space. There are a lot of freaking weird people out there.
There are weird people, and I think, even Bill or myself at one point would have probably been thrown in the clink.
You think?
Yeah.
Speak for yourself. Well, you never know.
I mean, just a particular moment of time, or
I listened to your show. I'd say you'd be in jail in a second.
Yeah,
at least in a psych ward.
Weird.
Over the weekend, Vehicles for Vision. You actually were at this, right?
I was helping to park cars in my role as a board member for the foundational board there.
For CAVI?
For CAVI, yeah.
Okay. On the line right now with a little update on what went down and what it's going to do and what it accomplishes is Ed Welch. Good morning.
Good morning, Bill. Andrew, how are you guys doing?
Wonderful. How about you?
Beautiful day, and we had a great day yesterday, and it looks like we have good weather for a change around here.
We do, although it's going to cool off just a little bit earlier than I expected. Mm-hmm. We may not hit 70 on Labor Day. The forecast is still early. But listen, plenty of sunshine. I'll take all of it. You had great weather for yesterday.
We did, and the one thing about car shows is you have to have good weather. Because a lot of the guys that bring their cars, they don't like to drive them through the rain. So, because then you got to spend 2 days cleaning them. So the truth of the matter is, the nice weather is perfect for car shows.
And what do you when you raise money for these events? Where does the money go?
The funds that we do raise supports the programming of CABVI, and the Vehicles for Vision program and Andrew's on our foundation board. We've been getting car donations for 37 years, and we've taken in over 17,000 cars over the years. So it's been a very successful program for a very long time. We thought, well, why not have a car show to help support that? And we started the car show a few years back, and it got interrupted by COVID, obviously, and we thought this year that we'd kind of hype up the car show a little further. We had over 120 cars yesterday.
Wow.
And we had two car shows actually going on simultaneously. We had our regular car show, and then we had an invitational car show within the car show. And in the invitational, we were very fortunate to have some people bring in some McLarens and Ferraris.
Yeah, well, they were awesome.
We had we probably had $5 or $6 million worth of cars just in that small collection of vehicles.
Wow.
So people who came down here yesterday were able not just to have a great time. We had a great band, a lot of good music, a lot of nice cars, and we also had the invitational, so people can see some cars that they would probably never see anyplace else.
And the amazing thing was, it was just so exciting to see. As you mentioned before, we started this as an idea that we hope would grow, and I think it went from 30 cars the first year to 75 last year to now over 120. There were cars coming well after the start of the show. We were finding space for. So it was definitely from a board member perspective very exciting to see that.
It was great, and we have one more parking lot we can empty out of regular cars and put car show cars in there for next year, which I think that's what we're going to have to do. If the public supports us like they did, and we're very, very grateful for the support that we did receive from everybody who attended, and our sponsors. Am I allowed to talk about my sponsors for a minute?
Sure. Yeah, go ahead.
The show was the main sponsor was Village Motors of Riscony. And they've had a long association with us with Vehicles for Vision for many, many, many years. And Matt Shannon and his family have been very, very supportive. And when we started the concept of the Invitational, Al Hodgkinson and Craig George from Johnson's Auto Body, those guys sponsored the Invitational. And I can't tell you how pleased we were with the level of support that we had from everybody that was involved. My staff worked pretty hard, and I think one of the funny parts about yesterday was, one side of the street you've got $6 million worth of cars, and then you can come get a hot dog, soda, and a bag of chips for $2.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So we serve good hot dogs, Bill. Just so you know, we didn't serve any junk.
Okay, this is
Ed was at the helm.
Not all filler.
Chef Ed.
Okay, you were doing the cooking. Okay, all right.
Well, we had several people doing the cooking, but I was part of that crew.
And he supervised.
Mike says, I heard Andrew dented only 3 cars while he was doing the parking.
I wasn't physically parking them. I was telling them where to park. I want to make that clarification.
Yeah, I mean...
Andrew did a great job, and we had the cars judged professionally by an outside group. And also, when our ceremonies, we had cash prizes for winners, and we also, the president of our foundation, Steve Keeler, who's the general manager over at Steve Pontyford, he presided over our awards. So we as again, our foundation members worked pretty hard. We're very appreciative of their efforts, and again, the public support was tremendous. And again, the weather was good. We had good security. The Utica Police Department was here helping us out. We had Elizabeth Street completely closed from First Street to Academy Street. So we put the cars literally right on the street, Bill.
Wow. I was at a car show. I have a friend, Tony. Tony wanted us to go to a car show. He likes going to these car shows. Now, I have no idea anything at all about car shows, but we went. My wife and I went. So it was him and his wife and their son, who was, 3 or 4 years old at the time. So we're walking through the car show, and everything's going well. All of a sudden, we come upon this really nice, I believe it was a Corvette. Beautiful car. All of a sudden, his son gets in the car. Yeah. He's jumping up and down on the seat, moving the steering wheel, and I'm like,
oh, boy.
Tony, you got to, they don't allow you in these cars. And Tony said, that's my car. And turns out I had no idea. We've been friends for years. I had no idea he had a car in the car show.
Hey, kid, get out of that car.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
A lot of people have nice cars in this area. People, and many of them don't show them. And one of the nice things about our show is many of the cars that came are not normal car show. I'll say participants. It's a group of guys that bring their cars to many shows. This is more of a blue collar type of show. Where people that don't normally do car shows brought their cars.
That's
and
cool.
We're very happy when we see people that bring cars out that we don't normally see around town.
Mm-hmm. That's really cool.
There was cars from what? Would you say the earliest era was like the 40s to today? It was really exciting.
Well, we had the antique car winner was a 23 Model T.
Wow. Yeah.
So if you think about that, and of course the guys from Don's Ford brought some specialty vehicles down, brand new ones so the newest cars on the lot were some brand new like a Ranger Raptor. I thought the first one of those I've seen, and so we had some Jeeps, and so you had some brand new trucks and Subaru WRX.
Okay.
It was so we had some special cars here that were brought by our friends up at Don's Ford.
All right.
So we had old cars and new cars.
Great event. And of course, without getting, I know you're not with AAA anymore, but this is a busy week coming up here of travel at the end of our summer season, if you will, leading up to Labor Day.
Well, the Labor Day travel season obviously is the cap off of the summer travel season, and for everything I've read, it looks like we're going to have a really record crowds heading out for the weekend.
Yeah.
And we've seen a little bit of relief in gas prices. Obviously, we're not seeing that on airline prices.
Right.
So again, I hesitate to give too much travel advice, but I would say that always have a plan B if you're going to travel by airplane. Look at the weather. And I also would think if you can make sure you get assigned seat someplace, you're better off with assigned seats. I don't care what anybody says about these cheap airlines.
Absolutely right.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep. And the other thing is fly out in the morning.
So you don't want to be on the last flight out of Syracuse, for example.
No, they cancel all the time. It's terrible.
Well, it's because you have the weather delays and everything else in between. So, so you're right, Bill. If you're gonna travel, you want to be on an early plane out, and
That is true.
make sure you connect. And when you look at your connecting flights, that's when you got to be looking at the weather, and make sure you leave yourself at least an hour between flights, even if it extends your trip.
Yep.
Trying to catch a flight with 20 minutes to go is not a good thing.
Yeah, when you say to the airline, but I have to catch this flight, we're going to miss the cruise. They don't seem to care these days. No. So you got to plan.
It's not their problem.
It isn't their problem. You should have planned differently. Yeah.
Well, exactly. A lack of planning on your part does not make for an emergency on their part.
Ed
The
Welch,
other thing I will point out about air travel of late is be careful how much you're trying to drag onto the airplane.
True. Yeah, you want to get a nice, slim little, carry-on.
Yeah, they're getting very strict about that. I guess the point I'm trying to make, and they'll force you to check your bag. So, don't think you can just bring 5 things on the airplane. They're not going to let you do that. They're getting very strict about that.
All right, good stuff. Ed Welch, as always, we appreciate it, and thank you for what you do out there.
Hey, you guys have a nice day, and I appreciate being on with all of you today.
We feel the same way. Thank
you.
And
one last thing is, let's go Mets.
Let's go Mets. We got a lot to do in this
happy
next
motoring,
month.
Ed.
All right, happy motoring. All right,
Thank
Ed.
you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. I will tell you, it was the very same car show. So, very same Tony and his son Anthony and his wife Denise and my wife. We were there and we're sitting at Presswood Glen for their car show.
Oh, yeah.
And sitting down, having a hot dog. You get a hot dog over there. And all of a sudden, this guy starts making funny eyes to young Anthony, who's like 3 years old. And I'm watching this. Nobody else is seeing it. But clearly, the guy is like a molester.
Yeah.
Like making friends with a 3-year-old. What kind of weirdo does that? So I immediately, quietly said to Tony, you better watch this guy over here. And he said, that's my uncle. So I was really screwed up for the whole car show thing. I just didn't get any of it right. Gotta go. Back here tomorrow. News is next.
I looked at the program from the manufacturer again this month, and there's still a major glitch in the customer's favor.
It's on the 2024 Kia Sportage plug-in hybrid all-wheel drive.
With government incentives, you can lease this $41,000 vehicle for just $418 per month for 36 months.
And that's with zero down, zero due at inception, even sales tax included.
You can plug it into a regular outlet at night and get 35 miles on electric.
Then it switches to a gas hybrid engine with 430 miles on a tank of gas.
Snap yours today before they fix the glitch.
Now that's kooky.
Make that short drive to choose from 400 new Kias in one location.
So go kooky for Kia at Destination Kia of Utica. Puppies and babies not included.
2024 Kia Sportage plug-in hybrid all-wheel drive. STK number 24T0440. MSRP $40,990. 36 months, 30,000 mile lease. 20 cents per mile over. Zero due at inception. Zero security deposit. 8.75% sales tax and $650 acquisition fee included in payment structure. $400 disposition fee. 720 plus FICO score. Includes New York State Drive Clean rebate. Offer expires 9/3/2024.
Adirondack Home Furniture is the area's go-to store for top-quality, durable, American-made pieces for any room. And all month long, Adirondack Home Furniture is having a summer sale event on select floor pieces. Stop in and check out their hot summer buys all month long through Labor Day weekend. Are you looking for a better night's sleep? Then check out their selection of Restonic mattresses or their private label flippable mattress line. Once you select the perfect piece for your space, they can deliver it locally free of charge, or you can pick it up from their showroom. So stop into Adirondack Home Furniture today for their summer sales event and save big on select floor pieces and take what you love home today. And save even more in their clearance room with many new markdowns and price to sell items.